Grace and peace, everybody. We are back. You saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. You know what we're about to do. We're going to sit down and we're going to dissect my conversation I had with a Candace supporter by the name of Peter. And this conversation he and I had was this past week. It was a good conversation. I thought it was fruitful, if you will. And but I wanted to kind of go over it and kind of tear apart some of the things that I heard and maybe hear what you all thought and so on and so forth. But I'm not going to be doing this by myself. And what I'm going to do is I got a great friend of mine as well as ours that has been a supporter of the channel for a while. And I want to bring her up on as well so we can tap in and talk about it. We got the Lady Luck Club in the building. What's happening, friend?
Hey. How
How
y'all
are you?
doing? What's going on?
Oh, nothing
Hope
much.
everybody's well. Happy Sunday to all of you all out there. Thank you so much for having me, D with my brother.
Hey, no problem. No problem. This is a lot of fun. So, all right. So you watched my video with Peter and you had some
Indeed.
opinions about it. So,
Indeed. Well, it's the as I think we kind of touched on a little bit yesterday, it's just the lack of common sense, the lack of reading, the lack of research, and all that gets some understanding.
yeah,
And
I
I
mean,
don't think
you're not
he got
lying.
anything because he's not trying, and that's kind of the mentality of the Candace Owens herd. I mean, it's sort of just this whole let's take whatever she says and we're gonna run with that, even if it means all of us falling off this cliff, knowing that it's gonna lead us to the bottom of an ocean. Like they don't try to figure out. Let me get some knowledge to make sure that even if I'm formulating an opinion, it's based on
Mhm.
something concrete, even if it's based on logic. They don't do that.
Well, I think this is kind of what you hear a lot of people arguing about modern day public
Mhm.
education. When before it was taught how to think, now it's taught what to think.
Right.
And lots of people have kind of embraced the thought that if Candace says it, then it's just it. I don't need to do any more research, any more due diligence, anything of that nature. If she says it, it's the gospel, for lack of a better term. So I do think that's part of the problem is that, and we'll see this as we bring in, we'll go through this video and just kind of parse it apart. But I do think that's part of the problem is like, yeah, I'm not going to think robustly about this. I'm not going to think critically
Mhm.
about this. I'm not going to do my own due diligence and check and make sure that what she's saying, as Reagan said, trust and verify. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I'm just going to trust it. And I'm
Right.
not saying that you can't do that sometimes, but let's just be honest. I don't think Candace has earned that at all. So,
Exactly.
but
Exactly.
no, shout out to the best live chat in the
Shout out to all
on
of
the
you.
internet. Shout out to them all. We got the Lady Luck Club up in here. We appreciate
Yes,
y'all. We
we
got
do.
some folk over on X. We got the people over here on the Lady Luck Club as well as the best live chat on the internet up in the building. Shout out to all of y'all. Matter of fact, all of y'all are part of the best live chat. We've deputized y'all into it, so y'all can be a part of the best live chat on the internet. Let's go ahead because this video is a little bit longer than I thought. So I really like wait, and I didn't
Make
edit
sure
it
you
today.
speed it up a little bit, and it'll you
Oh, okay.
know
Well, let me hold
get a
on. Then I need
little
to do some.
clear.
I need to do some jerry rigging then if I'm gonna do that because I don't have it downloaded and sped up. So let
Okay,
me do
okay.
that. I don't have it. I'm just playing it literally out of my recorder, out of my player. But it is what it
Well,
is.
yeah, I sped
But
it up a little because it trimmed it down like a good 20 minutes. But it was just kind of like it was something else to hear, and I said, okay, if I hear this again, hopefully he does a breakdown. And what do you know? You popped up yesterday, and y'all, I
yeah,
had to act and beg a little bit, but Jay Wick, he spoils me so much.
I,
You
I,
got to do the
I
breakdown.
wasn't going to. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't going to. I was thinking about it, but I was like, I'm not gonna do that. Nobody wants to hear
He
me
was like,
break
no.
down my
I was
own
like,
video. Like, what in the
please.
world? Like, what's wrong with you people, man?
It's just imperative for people to hear this in real time when you're presenting an argument and a good challenge and to hear their responses in real time. It's one thing to read it in the comments. It's
Facts.
another thing to hear this and you can put a face to a name and a voice and you're like,
Hmm.
this is for real.
He was for real, man.
Actually,
Bless
it's
his
not a
heart. He was for
bot.
real.
I know,
He
right?
was
Bless
for
his
real,
heart.
man. He was for real about that thing.
Good
He
Lord.
was he was for real about it. He meant that thing.
Absolutely. So
What?
shout
Let me
out to
see. I
Jay
think I
Wick
can.
for doing that for
Oh, you know
all of us.
what? No, I got to sped up. Okay, we're good. We're good now.
Awesome.
I got it cooked up. And just let me know. Now I realize that my player actually has a speed up function. I never saw that before.
Yay.
I never saw that before. So let's bring this in, ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado. All right, you know that guy over there. This is my guest, Peter. This is from the conversation the other day. With no further ado, green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
Let's
Right.
go.
Now, I told you all that I might come back, and guess what? I didn't let you down. I am back, and this is a very impromptu live stream. I have a guest on who wanted to talk with me about some of my views and positions on topics, so I thought it would be great to have him come on. So, real quick, let me bring in Peter. Shout out to you. Peter, how are you, sir?
Doing all right, man. A little bit tired, but hanging in there.
Okay. All right. Well, earlier today, I was on Keisha King's channel, just chopping it up a little bit. And Peter was in the comment section. And as I always do, I always let people know, hey, you're welcome to come on if you want to email management, and we will gladly talk with you. So Peter has decided to come on, chose to come on, which I think is perfectly fine. So with no further ado, Peter, I'll give you the opportunity to open up. Tell me what it was maybe that you had an issue or complaint with that I had said, and we'll go from there. Okay. Let me give you, I am not a debate coach by any means or measure. I am not an aficionado in how to debate. All I can tell you is what I do. So I'm going to tell you what I do. The
All right.
very, very first thing you do is you don't tell somebody what they believe.
Right.
You never tell them what they believe. You ask them what they believe.
Yeah.
And you give them the opportunity to talk. And I say it a lot, and a lot of people laugh at it and whatnot. If you don't know the answer, ask the questions. So
Right.
I'm asking the question because I'm not going to tell him what he thinks. Because
Right.
I'm not going to say you're a Cantifa member, so you believe X, Y, Z, A, B, C. I'm not going to do that to him. I'm going to let him
Yeah.
tell me, and then you go from there. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, it does. Absolutely. That's
All
what I
right. So
learned.
that's the exact reason why I let him start the floor, because I don't want to. He was saying some reckless stuff, and I'll be honest with you, I kind of forgot what he had said. So he was saying some mad I remember it was reckless. I remember that part. I'm like, oh, you got to get on my nerve if
Wow.
if I got to tell you on somebody else's channel to call me, reach out to me, you didn't say something reckless. But I don't
Wow.
want to assume where he goes, because a lot of time when people will get reckless in the comments, but you tap them
Mhm.
in and their whole position and posture changes. So, okay, that was it. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I started looking at your channel a little bit. You
Mhm.
can see that you're a pretty big Candace stan, so that was no, I'm just kidding there. I've been watching Candace's videos for a little while, and I just saw you guys kind of popped up in my feed, and clearly are critical of her, and so I felt the need to kind of jump in, and I mentioned Israel and stuff, and I think you kind of accused me of being obsessed with Israel, and which I just thought was a kind of funny thing to say because looking at your channel, looking at, was it Quisha's channel?
Keisha, yeah.
You guys also seem to have subjects that you kind of focus on. So
Yes, sir. Okay, I remember what he said that was reckless. He was
Okay.
saying that we are these Zionists. I believe he even said we were paid $7,000. All this kind of the usual
The
Candice
same old thing that makes me
talking
laugh
points.
at this point.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. And so I'm like, dude, you're obsessed with Israel. I mean, we weren't talking about Israel.
Right.
And I've said this ad nauseum. I'm going to say it in this video. I don't lose any sleep over Israel like that.
And me
And
either.
the fact that people do that, to me, is more problematic than anything else. Is
Yeah.
that like why is that your biggest issue? Now, I will say this. I think it's because, as I said earlier in my opening, these people
Mhm.
haven't sat down and thought robustly about what it is. Candace says it. There it is. And,
Right.
and Candace has just made thinking, they've outsourced their thinking to Candace. And you'll see it in a
Yeah.
moment. But
So
go
this
ahead.
is just so I can be clear. This started on someone else's channel.
Correct. I was on Keisha King's channel. She asked me to come on, so I hopped in for a minute, and we were talking. I really truly don't remember what we were talking about.
Really?
But it might have been about Candace, or it might have been just about, I think it was Candace and Erica, because Keisha's really big into being a woman and such of that nature. I think she was really talking about Candace in contrast to Erica, if I remember correctly. So,
Oh,
like,
okay.
how in the world how did that become Israel conversation? See, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, you're obsessed about it. Like, you only want to talk
Wow.
about it. So that's how we ended up getting there. And I'm like, And he was in the comments going kind of, just being disrespectful, I felt. And I'm like, dude, that's not what we're talking about. Like, how did you get to
Right.
Israel?
Okay.
We're literally right here on the East Coast. What are you talking about?
And he came over to the, so he's your supporter or hers? I mean, he just
He was
came into
he
the
was
chat
on
and just started winning.
yeah, he was just in the chat.
Okay.
And
Wow.
and as I always do, I say, hey man, you can email management, dearwokec@gmail.com.
Right.
I will talk to you about this because I don't think Keisha really cared that much about it. And she wasn't dialed in. I said, I'll talk to you about it. Just shoot me an email. And he did the wrong thing by shooting me an email.
Okay. All right. I just, I didn't know that because I've never heard of this other content creator. So I thought it was something maybe just happened on your live, but it was someone else's live. Oh,
Yeah.
and now I'm gonna have to go back and check out that comment section over there because
I like
to
I'll
kind of
send you a
know
link to
send
the
it to me so I
genesis
can
of
get
it.
the
That makes sense.
foundations of it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I totally get you.
Gotcha.
I totally get you.
Gotcha.
She was just doing a live stream and it was just like a spur of the moment. She said, you want to hop in? I said, sure, I'm not doing anything. So, okay, let's keep this dance going. Let's go.
Let's go.
I feel like when you call somebody obsessed, it's kind of, to me, it's not a very logical argument. Like, I'd rather people focus on the actual structure of the argument, like what's actually true and what's not. That's when I started kind of firing back and forth. But I really respect you having me on. I'm just a normal person, never been on a podcast before, but I thought it'd be cool to, like you said, chop it up with you. And yeah, so that was kind of the first thing I disagreed with, was just, being called obsessed about an issue. I think it's fine to be interested in issues. Clearly you're interested in the Candace issue, but you kind of disagree with what she's saying. I'm interested in, I agree with what she's saying, and I do think it ties into Israel. I don't think that makes me obsessed. I think it's a topic of interest to me. So, kind of start off there. I just feel like that's, I've watched probably too many podcasts, but every time I hear people on my side that are thinking like I am, when they bring up Israel, when they bring up the fact they think that Israel truly does influence our government way beyond any normal amount or more than any other nation, they're just called obsessed. And it's like, is that really a good argument? When you see our government's passing all these, anti-hate speech laws.
So real quick, as you're watching this, I do want you to put write down a mental sticky note. He asked for logics and facts. Remember that. And put it on a sticky note, and just in case, put a little pin in the sticky note. Make sure you pin it somewhere in your mind, because in a few moments, he is going to give us the most incoherent, non-logical, non-factual based argumentation on the planet. And you're going to be like, but I thought you said you wanted logic and facts. And that's not what he's doing. So I just want you to pin that in there. Pin that up there, ladies and gentlemen.
Just to help Israel, not for any other minority, not for Black people that have gone through, I'd say, a lot more than Jews. But it's just hate speech just to help Israel. When you see that Congress, convenes these declarations where they say that, we're not anti-Semitic, and they do this like multiple times a year. And I have nothing against Jews. This is just about Israel, but you just start to feel like our government is super obsessed with.
Isn't it funny? Like,
he just said, I have nothing against Jews, but this is just about Israel. Why?
Yeah, I don't know. And hear me, I'm not the biggest fan of some of the ways that America placates the highly melanated community, Lady Luck Club, but don't we have an entire month?
Oh, yes.
And then we have other ancillary celebrations throughout the year.
Right.
What month is the Jewish month of celebration? I'll wait.
Exactly.
I don't know. And I'm like, you do realize that didn't make any sense, what you're saying.
Not at all.
Not a bit. No, I think they do quite a bit for, I think they do more than enough for many people groups. Yeah, but
who's to stop? Who's to say that that's the limitation? I mean, we could celebrate Black History every day of the year if we wanted to. No one gets to suppress that. But I think what is he expecting at this point? It's like he wants the U.S. to do something about Israel. What exactly does he want done?
He wants the U.S. He wants to make the argument, and I'll let him say it. I mean, he's going to say it in a moment, that basically, or he said it a moment ago, please forgive me, that the Israel contingency, the Jewish lobby impacts and influences American politics way more than we realize. I said, okay, I got you. And now he's trying to use the anti-Semitic hate speech laws and that to make his case. Well, the problem is he also said they do more for Jews than they do for any other people group. And that's why I was asking you, because I really wasn't dialed into his argument, but I'm like, you do realize we have Black History Month in a couple of days, right?
Right.
We had a whole month for it.
Month.
And then we got other ancillary celebrations. You do realize that, right, my guy? So I don't think this is just talking points. So my other thing is, Be willing to listen to people and just let them talk. And it might
Mhm.
sound like you're not giving, you might want to talk more or whatever like that. Go ahead and get a little notepad in front of you and write down some
Mhm.
notes. But
Yeah.
don't let them talk. Just let them talk.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
eventually they're going to talk themselves into a trick bag, and all you got to do is cinch it up and throw it into the
Yep.
ocean. He's going to talk himself into it pretty quickly.
Okay.
So let us go.
Protecting Israel, and this is on the liberal and conservative side, and it really seems to be big to me on the elite liberal and conservative side. Most commoners, as you could call them, most of us peasants that I talk to, are pretty anti-Israel. When you kind of go up the social and economic ladder, you see on both sides of the aisle, whether it's Clinton and Bush or Obama and Trump, they're all Biden, they're all huge Zionists. I mean, that right by there almost speaks to me that there's a huge problem. I don't trust people, like that with a lot of money and power. I think it corrupts you. So yeah, man, that's kind of where I'm coming from. It's a topic of big interest to me. And, I hope what I said wasn't like insulting to you guys. Sometimes when you're chatting online, you get a little bit too carried away. So it's always better to speak in person. That's pretty cool.
Okay. Well, all right. So I got you there. I don't have a problem with Israel existing. So I guess that means I'm a Zionist. I'm perfect. All right. I got no problem with that. My issue is, and where I was coming from today was as it relates to Candace and what we were talking about. And I even mentioned it when on the show with Keisha. I have a whole field of problems with Candace before we ever get on a plane and fly 9 time zones away to worry ourselves about Israel. I got so many problems with her. And so when people immediately, the first thing they say, when they see me dunking on Candace, oh, it's got to be Israel. You're a Zionist, 7K. Well, see, to me, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're obsessed with it. And I'm not saying that you can't have issues and problems with the things that you just outlined. I'll probably push back on a lot of those things, Peter. Sure. But we don't even have to get there. I can just talk about the fact that Candace wholeheartedly, out of whole cloth, lies. She lies. Okay, and this is where what I'm, and feel free to tap in, Lady Luck Club. One of the things that, and if you're just tapping in, we're just going over a video that I did, an interview, a conversation, whatever, that I had with somebody that supports Cantifa, and I wanted to just slice apart their argument. And Lady Luck Club asked, could we do it together? I said, not a problem whatsoever. I said, be willing to just allow, if you don't know, don't tell people what they believe. So you just ask them what they believe. If you don't know the answer, you ask those questions. And then you allow them to just talk. It's going to hurt you, especially if you're somebody like me that likes to talk, to let them just talk more than you and let them just get it out, because they're going to talk themselves. And I really believe that most people who support Candace have not really thought about what they're talking about. And I'll say that with my whole chest, dearwokec@gmail.com. If you want to prove me wrong, you actually haven't thought about what you're talking about. And I'll make a very solid case for that, because you'll tell me that Candace has provided evidence, and I'll ask you what evidence, and you will not be able to show me that evidence. That is how I know that you haven't thought about what you're talking about. So here, I gave him a very solid point. Candace lies.
Right. Exactly.
And he's going to go now, and he's going to do something. But go ahead and jump in, Lady Luck.
Yeah. So what I typically start with is the definition, right? Because that's something concrete that we can all agree to on what is a Zionist. It's a person who believes that a Jewish nation should be formed, basically. They want to create a Jewish state in Palestine. First of all, we're in the United States of America. Secondly, I'm an American. Third of all, I have no hand or dealing in the creation of a Jewish state anywhere on earth. So for people to continuously be accused of being a Zionist because I'm not saying something negative about either Jewish people or Israel itself, it still does not fit the definition of what a Zionist is. And that's the problem with Candace. She doesn't give definitions of terms. She doesn't break down basic information so that when you do formulate an opinion, you're at least basing it on a fundamental fact that anyone can look up. It's a Google search. So as opposed to me arguing with someone over, oh, I'm not a Zionist, I don't do the back and forth. Now I'm going to tell you what the definition of the word is so we can read it. And then you can explain to me based on that definition, why am I being accused of being a Zionist?
And I think
How does that even apply?
no, I think you're right on the money. But see, my issue is I don't want to argue about Zionism. I too believe
Right,
that
exactly.
Israel has a right to exist. I'm not going to get into
Right,
those weeds because, as I told you before, I got a patch of grass in my front yard that I need to worry about. And
right, exactly.
when I press Peter about the patch of grass in his own front yard, that's when everything falls apart and it just becomes a spectacle. Because I don't want to argue
Right.
about a place of a slice of land that I'm not going to go visit. I'm not overly enthralled with it. I want them to
Hmm.
exist. They have the right to exist. Go do your
Right.
thing. I also
I'm not here to
I
attack
want
you.
my patch of grass does not have a right to exist. The grass has a right to grow in that patch of grass. And so I'm a grassinist. I want that grass to
Yeah.
grow in my front yard. I'm worried about the things that are concerning me directly. And so when I press
Right.
on Peter about that, and we're going to talk about this now, Candace
Yeah.
lies, platitudes don't take you anywhere. And it's kind of like
Exactly.
memeology. And you're just
Right.
like literally running off of catchphrases and such. And so you'll see in a second, if you watch the video, y'all know what he does when I told him that Candace lies. A
Yeah.
direct
And if I can add to that,
Mhm.
Candace lying has nothing to do with Israel or Jewish or even black or white or European. It's a simple concept, in fact, that she tells lies. That's it.
and that's what
It
and
could
that's
be
what we
on
were
another
talking
planet
about.
and she would
Mhm.
still lie. So
Yeah.
put Jewish to the side, put Zionism to the side. Candace Owens tells lies.
There you
Period.
go. And that's what we were talking about. Keisha and I were talking about. That's why I said you're
Yeah.
obsessed, because you're talking about these other things that have nothing to do with Israel. So let's bring it back in.
Right.
It
Go.
feels like I'm tying things together that shouldn't be tied together. But don't you think it's kind of weird that it's like, for some reason, everybody that would call themselves, a very virulent Zionist, like Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire, and then for some reason, they've all come on one side of the Candace issue. So it really does feel like it's tied into Israel. It's like, if
Well,
you thought,
how? When I'm saying right here, Candace lied about
Mhm.
what she said about the Egyptian plains. Now, if you could
What does
explain
that
to
have to
me
do with it?
where Israel and Zion come into that sentence,
Right.
Right.
then you got me over a barrel. But
No, not,
she,
not
oh, did you say something, Lady Luck?
No, I'm agreeing with what you're
Oh,
telling
oh,
him.
okay.
that little detail, no.
Okay. So, but I can give you 10 more of those. I can give you 10 more that have, again, I don't have to go to Hartsfield Jackson Airport
Are you
and
saying
book
what
a flight.
mistake about the time zone?
No, I'm talking about what she said about the Egyptian planes. All of that information was false. And she said that she would post it on her website. She said it 3 separate and distinct times, Peter, that she would post the information so you and myself can parse through it. And that information is still not there. So
Well,
I don't
I
know.
think she's going to get some things wrong, And
No,
that
no, no, no,
I
no,
think
no.
No.
No,
like
but
when
Peter,
you get
Hold
stuff, you're
on.
going to
go ahead.
Wait. So here's my problem. When they sit here and you're able to prove that she
Mhm.
lied about something, the difference between the word lie and an
Get something
error,
wrong. Right.
yeah, or you're making a mistake or an error, it's a matter of intent.
Yep.
So telling a lie is intentional. You can make a mistake or make an error by accident. It's something you're not planning, it's not purpose. But with Candace, her lies are intentional. Even when
Mhm.
she's being deceptive and she's saying, "Oh, let me play this clip," but then doesn't play the remaining part of the video to see
Mhm.
that the word that she claims Tyler Robinson didn't use, he actually used, but it's at the end of the video that she's not going to play. Even the word deception is synonymous with the word lie. So
There you go.
either way, we're speaking on definitions of terms based on the English language. Even when she's being deceptive, she's still lying. She's still placating. It's a facade. And so that's not the same as an error being made. That error is a mistake. That can
Mhm.
be unintentional. But her lies are intentional and purposeful for a reason. She's trying to
Absolutely.
paint this narrative and make this point that is based on a false perception. Her truncating videos and only showing portions of these made up text messages that aren't real, all of that feeds into this deception. All of that goes down to her intentionally lying. That's not the
Yeah.
same as an error. It's
There we
just
go.
not.
No, I think you're right on the money. And if we give Candace, if we take her lies and give her lies air qualities or air
Mm-hmm.
standing, then we have to do the exact same thing for Rob McCoy talking about Mike McCoy's covered in blood, or we have to do the exact same thing. If we're going to say that they're lying, then we have to say Candace is lying. And I've said this
Right.
before. A lot of the time, Candace is projecting. And so if you just take a step back and say, why is she saying this? And is she projecting? She's actually the one that's lying when she says that Andrew Colvett was lying, or Blake Neff was lying, or TPUSA is lying. She's the one that's actually being deceptive and not being clear intentionally. And she's trying to impugn that onto other entities to, again, to project it onto them, because people are going to believe that they're doing it. Because again, Turning Point USA is not talking. All right, let us go. Let's go.
Get false facts sometimes, and you're gonna have to backtrack. It's gonna happen.
But Peter, is that where? But Peter, well, why don't you show us the information? You said that this is what you remember. She said that the whole Egyptian plains was the whole reason they got to Fort Hakatua. That was going to shut the whole thing down. So this is what I'm saying. And real quick, just a little quick side note. I don't care that I'm saying Fort Huachuca incorrectly. I really don't care. I don't care. I don't. You need to be glad I stopped saying what somebody told me. You need to be glad I stopped saying what I was saying. Okay. I don't care. I don't. I really don't.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I don't care.
I said for Haka Waka. I don't care. It's irrelevant.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. So I'm just telling y'all, because people keep trying to. I got people in the chat trying to write it out phonetically. You've just wasted all that time that God gave you, your free will, to type it. I really don't care. I don't.
You better be glad I'm saying half of what I'm saying.
Right. You need to be glad I stopped saying. Where is it? Somebody just said it. You need to be glad I stopped saying this. Somebody got offended by that, and I took their offense, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that. So they need to be glad I stopped saying that. Okay.
They'll be all right. They'll be fine. Y'all get over it. Y'all heard me say words. Sound, please.
Oh, I know you have. Okay, let's go. Let's dance.
Right.
And notice what I'm talking about right now. None of this rhymes with Israel. None of this has so that's why.
Probably a little bit in that comment there.
No problem. So that's why when I say that somebody's obsessed with it, I'm like, you're not even listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying that the woman lied to you. I'm saying that she's pulling out a whole cloth, telling you stories and such of that nature that have no bearing whatsoever in reality. Now, again, we can have a whole sidebar conversation about the little sliver of land the size of New Jersey, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, we can talk about Candace, because I mean, I don't remember specifically about she was proven wrong about the Egyptian plains. I haven't watched her like every single night. I've watched her.
I hate to say it, but I have.
Yeah, so I see. I wouldn't want to call you obsessed or anything.
Hey, feel free. You're welcome to say that, and that would be a reasonable point to make. You could say that.
I had time to watch like your last episode you did before I jumped on this with you, and I felt like that's the only kind of deconstruction of an argument that I've seen so far on your side.
Okay.
But what I did see is you kind of just brought up that she had broken contracts and NDAs, and I don't know, that doesn't mean a ton to me, because I feel like NDAs are kind of used to bully the small people by large companies anyway. So that's the only thing. I haven't seen obviously any other.
I don't.
Nope.
No, NDAs. I don't. And again, it's an attempt. I wouldn't have said that NDAs are used. He has this perception, this David versus Goliath perception, that anything big is bad and everything small is good. TPUSA is big, Candace is small. That means Candace is good, TPUSA is bad. That's his narrative that he pushes out. But go ahead. What were you about to say?
So it means that Candace is bad and we're good because we're smaller.
I guess so. You know what? You're right.
We can go there based on that flawed logic. Okay, so we're good. She's bad. That's it. Because based on his logic, he said it. That settles it. We're good. He's bad. She's bad because we're smaller. But here's my thing. When he sits here and talks about an NDA and all this stuff, most companies don't want to hire someone that's going to come in and defame them as a company, as an organization, and trash talk and bash them, because it then brings up the question, why are you even working for them? If you're going to work for a company and all you're going to do is go out on social media and defame them to the point where it hurts their bottom line, it hurts their business, then they don't have to have you on board. It's an at-will employment opportunity here. Why choose to work for someone? You're just it's like you're miserable and then you want to complain about it, but you're not doing anything about it. Most companies have that type of confidentiality agreement where they want you to be careful about what you do on social media, especially when it comes to how that reflects on that organization. Most major companies have that. What is he talking about?
And keep in mind also, NDA doesn't mean also always just saying bad things. It means also disclosure is a non-disclosure
Right.
agreement. So if we have
Exactly.
proprietary technology and I'm working in the
Right.
proprietary technology department, they don't want me sharing it
Exactly.
with their competition. I mean, it's
Right.
really that simple. So
Yeah.
there's more to it than just that. And I'm pretty
Right.
certain, I don't know what Peter did, but I'm pretty certain wherever he worked, he probably had, unless he worked, just as a wrench turner or a hammer swinger, he probably worked in a field or a position that probably has some kind of proprietary concepts,
Mm-hmm.
proprietary information they don't want shared with their competition.
Right.
So
Right.
I don't think that was
I can't release the financials of my company and knowing, that they are probably doing business with contractors and vendors that might give somebody a leg up and create
right.
some sort of unfair competitive edge. It's like these are things that you learn just in the working field, period. When you start going out and getting a job and you start working, whether you have a job or career, however it is, those are just standards across the board. When you sign those documents to work for that company, you will see that language throughout it. They don't want you to disclose information. Like you said, an NDA is not necessarily defamation. You're right about that. It
Yeah.
could be just confidential information. They just don't want leaked out. We have to take training classes on recognizing phishing scams because you
Hmm.
have scammers and con artists trying to put viruses on software programs to get information from this company to
Yeah.
use it to their advantage. So, of course, they're going to have something in place where they don't want their own employees out here recording information that's supposed to be confidential and then
Hmm.
releasing it because they're mad at the CEO or they don't like this vice president. Like, it's get out of
I,
here. You're
no,
hurting the bottom line of the company overall. Why do that? Why would they be
yeah.
okay with you doing that?
And I think we've said it ad nauseum, and I'm pretty sure a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are in the chat are chiming in, whether it be HIPAA. As a former school teacher, we had certain things we didn't talk about, we couldn't discuss.
Mm-hmm.
Personal record. I mean, not talking about a student's grades and whatnot out in public is really a form of NDA. I mean, in
Yeah.
a general sense, I've talked about things that my students have done, but I do my very best not to discuss their names, talk about in any
Mm-hmm.
kind of identifying things of that nature. That's kind of like an NDA.
Exactly.
I'm not under
Yep.
NDA any longer because I've retired and I'm gone. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
do that. I don't think it's right to talk about students, particularly, and give you names and addresses of kids and stuff like that. It'll be insane. So,
Right.
I mean, it's not a big person versus a little person. It's doing the right thing. It's just
Exactly.
doing the
Exactly.
right
Some
thing.
things have laws in place too. I mean, I've worked in hospitals and I have to follow HIPAA. Like,
Yeah.
it just is what it is. Most people don't need to know, personal identifiable medical information. It's what is it going to do to help your life? This person has the right to privacy. This
Hmm.
company has the right to have certain information, held confidential within the company. It's that simple. And Candace is notorious for violating NDAs.
Notorious.
She doesn't care. She's
Yeah, I don't
notorious
think.
for that. So
Yeah,
she,
she doesn't care at all.
yeah.
All right, let's
Right, so
dance.
you could raise some good points. I'm not going to say you
And
didn't.
so let's just say that you work for a paint company. You have Peter's Paint Company,
Mhm.
and you own a paint company. You have a relationship with Sherman-Williams. You have a relationship with Bayer to buy their paint from you. And if they break that contract, I think you would be pretty miffed, even though you're a pretty reasonably small size company. You got 10 employees, and they break that contract. They don't do something.
Their founder,
So
he's a friend of mine, and they kill him for financial reasons, then I would probably wouldn't care about an NDA or contracts.
let me
What is she-
finish
what
with
is
where I am. So if they break that contract with, and I apologize, he was a guest, and I didn't realize I could hear it in my ears a lot better than I can hear it now. So I understand what
okay.
y'all are saying. It was in my ears. It was fine in my ears, but I do hear what y'all are saying. Like, yeah, his audio is bad. He just said if the owner was a friend of mine of the Sherman-Williams or Bayer or whatever, and if
Mhm.
they got killed, he wouldn't care about the NDA of the contract.
What?
I don't understand. I don't understand this thought process because that's the exact
Me
same
either.
thing that the woman said the other day about ICE. And I said, if somebody broke into her home and stayed in her house, would she be okay with that? She said she'd be okay with that. Like there's a smooth
Lord.
brainness that jumps out, and you're like, you got to be kidding me. Like you got to be
Yeah.
joking me. Like, no, you
So
would be very upset about that. Go ahead.
if the CEO of his company were assassinated, he's just gonna, regardless of the reason as to what led to them being assassinated, regardless of an actual investigation, forget laws circumventing around the investigation where they keep certain evidence confidential. But he's just gonna go ham and just
Just
start
start talking.
releasing all the information about the company now. I mean,
I
what
guess.
does that mean?
I don't
What is he
understand.
trying to say?
But see,
What is he
that's what.
going to do? Release their financials? Like what does that pertail for him?
So this is what I mean by I don't think Candace people actually they've outsourced their thinking.
Right.
Because if you just take a second and think about that, why would I go and break my NDA with a company that's been good to me, that's been paying me on time and all this kind of stuff like that, just because their CEO, they got some things going on in the corner office. CEO dies, CEO leaves, CEO gets transferred, whatever. Why would I break my contract with them because of that? That doesn't
Right.
make sense. But I don't think I really truly don't think he took any time to actually say, hold on, what would be a good reason to break an NDA? Because later on, when I ask him, I'm like, you do realize that nothing's going to transpire. Nothing comes from Candace's investigations. I think that's when the wheels on the bus truly came off. The bus is flipping over down the hill on fire. Because he never thought about the fact that what Candace is doing doesn't actually lead to any kind of, is not going to lead to anybody going to jail.
Arrest, nothing.
No,
exactly. It will have no sway in the court of law. Not at all. The judge will not care about anything that Candace thinks she is doing. The judge does not care. He doesn't.
And I don't think people have actually thought about that. That this stuff, what she's doing, this is not an investigation. I do think that's why she has stopped using the word investigation so much. She used to use investigation. She used to use investigation. Right. She used to use investigation quite a bit, but she doesn't use it that much. I'm wondering if that's because she realizes she actually isn't an investigator. And maybe it's because of you, but also just the fact that this isn't leading anywhere. All the stuff that you're doing about TPUSA and dragging Erica Kurt through the mud, guess what? Tyler Robinson's still going to be in jail. Yeah, Tyler Robinson's he's still fighting to get rid of videos that incriminate him. He's still fighting tooth and nail. So guess what? Everything that you're doing for Erica is not really, it doesn't lead anywhere. So then the next logical question somebody should ask is, why is Candace doing this? Why is Candace doing this? And
she's
I think
a gossip blogger.
Yeah, if you ask that question, I do think you will, and you're honest, I do think you'll start going down a road that you'll be like, this isn't leading anywhere. What she's doing doesn't result in anything. Nobody's going to, just like the Macrones, nobody's going to go to jail because of that. Now, one thing is going to change. Only thing she's done is mucked up and figured out whether or not dude looks like a lady. That's it. That's all that's going to happen. They're going to still be married. They're going to still be doing whatever. And Candace is going to be, I don't know, $5 million short or whatever.
$20 million short. She still got Brigitte Macron still has 3 daughters. She still got grandchildren. She still has a family. Nothing is going to change it. Candace's nonsense doesn't change or bring about any positive results at all. There's nothing that comes from that. And at this point, her calling herself an investigator and the way she was moving with trying to force interviews and trying to get information that she was not entitled to out of people, it was fitting the actual legal definition of an impersonator. And so when I know I talked about it a few good times in videos and on X, and when she started realizing, like, okay, if you're asserting yourself or asserting this power and authority, you're still fitting the definition of an impersonator. So calling yourself an investigator on as if you are a CIA, which is a federal investigator, would be a felony. It's a crime, period. And if the average reasonable person listening to you can perceive and walk away having believed that you actually are an investigator, you fit the definition of an impersonator. And they would not hesitate to bring charges against you. So she had to change it up. Now that's why she's gone on this trip about, I'm just doing journalism. It's all about journalism. I'm trying to just do some reporting in journalism, because she's trying to force it underneath the guise of, I'm just a journalist reporting.
Well, keep in mind, she does not have a degree in
Oh no,
journalism.
she doesn't. Not at
So
all.
yeah, people might want to. I don't think that's any
Yeah.
better. I don't think saying that you're a journalist is any better because you're not actually you're not degreed nor trained in that field. Just something to think about. Let's go.
Yep.
I think you would agree that that contract and them breaking that contract and you now having the power to file a civil case against them is fantastic. Is that fair?
They have the right, absolutely. And I think
Okay.
it's just like, if I have to pay money, it is what it is.
Let me point out something to you. Candace made it very clear that if I don't give information, that I'm lying.
Yeah, I saw you.
So if I withhold information from you in this discussion that we're having, then I'm lying.
Okay.
That's her argument. If I need to, I can bring in the little clip where she talks about I don't like little lies.
I remember her saying
right?
that. I saw what you said.
So wouldn't it be fair to say that Candace was following her own logic and her own argument that she lied by not telling people, by the way, I am under contract with TPUSA at this current moment as I'm talking trash about them? Would that not be considered a lie?
I saw you say that exact thing. So I actually thought about this point, and I can sort of see your point, but at the same time, I just don't know how relevant it is to the broader point she's making.
Well, I can challenge it.
What if she didn't want to just give ammunition to TPUSA? She's like, shit, they do have me over.
So he's saying, what broader point is she making? That's the question.
I have no clue.
He's not even expressing what her point is. All these months he's been listening to her. He's absorbing her talking points and repeating them almost verbatim. And he still has not vocalized what her broader point is. Because originally, wasn't she supposed to be looking into this to tell us who's the actual shooter? How
Now
are we
it's just
even closer to that now? We're nowhere near close to her telling us who she thinks pulled the trigger on the gun. Like, we're nowhere near that.
Actually, I think she's making the case for Tyler. I know a lot of people think that she's trying to mess up the case for Tyler Robinson. I think she's making the case for Tyler Robinson more solid out of sheer exhaustion. Sheer exhaustion. Like, okay, do I follow this crazy train that Candace has been on for 4 months, or does it make more sense to follow the official narrative and ask questions while I'm there? I'm not saying you can't ask questions. I'm going to go with the official narrative because I just don't have time. Like, we are no closer to knowing anything than we were the moment Charlie Kirk's body hit the ground from Candace. Then we are, I'm good with learning through the Tyler Robinson trial. I'll learn from there. There's no reason for me to believe anything else, these ancillary stories. And I just think that it's just muckraking. But
yeah,
I don't see.
She hasn't been bold enough to come out and just say that because she knows that her cult base are going to give her some serious backlash.
Oh,
it's like what she's doing with Erica Kirk is throwing them red meat. It's like, let me satisfy this appetite, even though I can't, boldly admit that I don't know who else pulled the trigger on the gun. So for right now, I have to believe that it's Tyler Robinson. Like, she can't just say that,
right?
Because it's going to make all of them mad. So she attacks Erica Kirk because she knows that's something else that they want her to do. They want her to attack Erica Kirk, TPUSA, everyone that works there, or tell us who the shooter is, which she cannot do. So for what she can do, that's what she's doing. That's why she's, lying by omission.
Yeah. But remember, she doesn't lie.
But I'm not going to put it out there for them just to take advantage of it and sue me. I'll wait for them to take advantage of that on their own. To me, it doesn't really negate the fact that the way TPUSA has been acting seems very fishy to me. And all those things seem like minor things in comparison.
Well, if we're going to start agreeing things, and a lot of the things that she claims that they're moving fishy, they actually haven't said anything about. So the only reason we know, quote unquote, that they're moving fishy is the translation of Candace. And I think we now know that there's she actually has a dare I say a little bit of incentive to not be as truthful about how she explains or how she reports what TPUSA is doing. But back to my contract situation. If she was being upfront and honest and saying, by the way, I'm under contract with them, and she would have been, that contract was for 3 more years. If they had, so she would have been able to
change your thoughts on her actual argument at all? Because to me, that would just make me think, okay, well, she's being a badass. She's speaking out against this company, even though she knows she could get her in trouble. Like, I just
but then she goes Billy Bad backside and immediately says, I'm going to ask my audience to pay my bill for me.
Well,
that's not. No, you didn't hear that.
Anybody do that?
No. I'm not gonna talk trash about Peter and be like, Pete, come sue me, man. Come sue me. Hey, by the way, everybody, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that donation button because Peter's gonna sue me. That would be crazy work.
I guess if you say so.
But am I making that?
I guess if you can say so. Okay.
Okay. I mean,
He's just like kind of brushing things off. Any point you bring up that's a valid point that can be substantiated with evidence, he
Mhm.
brushes it off, and it's like, well, what is
Well-
that? See, I think for me, I just don't do whataboutisms. And
I
that's
hate
what he's doing. It's
whataboutisms.
heavy whataboutisms right now. Well, I think, but what does that have to do with it? But what about this? But what about it's irrelevant. Answer the direct question, and let's figure out exactly what you're trying to say with her broader narrative here. Because if you can't tell us that, everything else after that is moot. It's irrelevant. If you can't say what her actual broader point is in this, we know she can break an NDA. We know she doesn't care about contracts. She's been fired 3 times. We know those things. Like, that girl does not care about. She'll take
She
a
really
termination
don't.
in a minute. She doesn't care. Those are things we all can say because it can be factually proven. But
Absolutely.
for her to speak out against TPUSA, what is that supposed to be doing? What is the end goal result? What is the point of that? She's breaking another contract. It's what she does. But what is the purpose of her
breaking that
dogging out
contract, right?
TPUSA and then risking this contract being yet again violated? What's the purpose? He never gets to that at all. He doesn't even tell us what her point is. And he's supposed to be a follower.
So again, I think one of the things is, and I said this before, allow them to talk. A lot of people who support Candace literally just run off of talking points. They run off of, vibes and feelings, right? So let them just talk, and you'll realize like you don't actually have a case here. You really don't have an argument, and so we'll see more about it in a moment. But that's why I let them just talk. Like, just go ahead and talk, and go ahead and do what you gotta do, my brother.
Exactly.
Am I being, too?
It doesn't change, I guess, anything about the fact if you think that Candace is onto something, that TPUSA had financial reasons to potentially off their leader, and that the government.
Wait, just stop and think about that sentence for a second.
But that's not
think about that sentence for a second.
Yeah.
That sounds insane to say that somebody.
Yeah, this is a crazy thing to me, and I think I lost you for a second.
What happened?
I don't know, man.
I don't know what happened to my camera. I don't know what happened to my camera. Go ahead.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so can I ask you this? Because this is the crazy, I listen to too many podcasts while I'm working.
So he threw out, and this is a very common Candace thing. They got like lyrical ADHD. They just throw out things without any substantiation. He literally just said TPUSA had their leader assassinated.
Yeah, a financial reason to
have their financial. And I'm like, well, hold on, my guy. Wait, hold on now. We might need to really unpack that. Like, you really got to explain how that works. And I bring this up because that's insane. Okay, I don't believe that at all. And I mentioned this to some other content creators today, that there's an organization called Wrath and Grace, and it's a parachurch ministry that helps get information to churches about how to address cultural phenomena. And it was led by Pastor Vodi Bakum. Well, Vodi recently passed away as well, soon after Charlie Kirk. And he was the bedrock of this organization. And they are really having a hard go at it now, because literally Vodi was the draw. He was the name that supported this organization, Wrath and Grace. And so they're in the exact same situation that Turning Point is in, except they don't have an ignorant Candace, but they're in the same point where they're trying to fundraise and still try to do the things that they're supposed to do. They're extremely small. They're not very big at all, but they're really trying to make a go at it. And so I bring that up because why would Wrath and Grace, what they're saying is that, there's a great benefit in getting rid of Vodi. And the fact of saying that sounds like I'm mentally retarded. Like, I feel like I need to go read a book or something because I said something that's stupid. But that's what they're saying Turning Point did.
Right. And it's like he created the company. People supported TPUSA primarily for him. He had more supporters for him directly than TPUSA, the organization, had.
I agree.
So how would they financially benefit from losing their own CEO when more than 51%, we can say, of the supporters and donors were supporters and donors because of Charlie Kirk, the person? not because of TPUSA, the company. So
And I
what
don't think
financial incentive would they get out of him losing his life?
I really don't think they've thought this out. As a matter of fact, I feel very comfortable listening to Peter that he had not really thought that one out. He just, and
He didn't
especially when
think
I ask him
anything.
about the cash cow and the golden goose, the goose that lays the golden eggs, it's very clear that he had not thought about what would be the incentive of this happening. So let's let him
Right.
go.
Yeah.
So these thoughts all get in my head. And the weirdest thing to me that I don't get, and I really want to ask you genuinely, is what's so crazy? You know, when you look at typical murder cases, often the prime suspect is a spouse or someone who had a financial motive. So when everyone's like, "Oh no, you can't criticize a widow, or you can't criticize his company," that seems very illogical to me. Are you still there? I think I lost you.
Mm.
I don't know if it's my internet or yours, bud.
Because my camera was acting deflected. Sorry, y'all. Don't worry about it, brother. I'm right here. I can hear you. I don't know what happened to my camera though.
Okay,
I
but
don't know what's up.
yeah.
You stop acting crazy, camera.
Did you heard that? Like that's my
I heard you.
like what's crazy about that? I think like when a spouse is murdered, like half the time it's the spouse. Like it's not a crazy thing.
That's not true.
No, it's not. That's not true at all. That's not the first person they look at when it comes to questioning, and based upon the circumstance. See, here's the thing.
Right.
The circumstance, the location, where he was assassinated in front of 3,000 plus people on national television. It would be different if he were in the home, in the bedroom, and she's the only one there, and the kids are in their room and they were asleep.
Right.
The circumstance does change who they look at initially as a suspect. You're talking about a situation where he was assassinated, and she's at the hospital with her mother, which hospitals have camera footages. So if they wanted to really prove what she was, they can. They can use her cell phone to track her location. They have hospital security camera footages to see her and her mother go in and out that hospital. So she could prove she was with her mother the moment he was shot and killed. So for them to say, "Oh, it's automatically the wife," that's not how they conduct investigations, and that's not how they typically consider or rule out a suspect. That's not how it's done.
Let me also jump in because the smooth brain of Candace on Friday introduced a whole new. I never knew she was a fan of Kobe Bryant. I didn't know that. But Candace is a fan of Kobe Bryant, and now she's an aficionado, a disciple of Vanessa Bryant, right? And she was talking about Vanessa Bryant. She's such a wonderful widow. She's such a great widow. She's the bestest widow that ever widowed, right? The only problem is Vanessa Bryant is a widow by way of an accident, which is 1,000 times different than a widow by way of an assassination or direct murder. Right. There's a whole different game. So for Vanessa Bryant to be suing and suing people right off the rip, that makes perfect sense because it's not a murder case. It's not a crime. It's an accident. It's a civil. Whereas here, this is a crime that hasn't been a criminal case that hasn't been teased all the way out to find out who actually did it. Did Tyler Robinson do it? And so therefore, they can't be suing people left, right, and center. So those are short little nuances. I think, again, I'm sorry. I truly believe Candace doesn't get any kind of counsel. She doesn't talk to anybody to bounce ideas off of. She just literally says stuff. I think
when she just says it. When I think she just says whatever she's, and then I'm always the one, because I know you listening, girl, that says that her shows are pre-scripted and pre-recorded, because they are. Because if you allow her to just fly loose off the handle, it probably would be 1,000 times worse. But for her to even try to compare one grieving widow against another grieving widow, to me, it's just soulless and heartless and disgusting to begin with. You cannot sit here and say that this one grieving widow should not be grieving in however way, shape, form, or fashion they do it, because you think that they should be doing it based on this other grieving widow over here, even though the circumstances that led to the husband's deaths are completely different. It is just disgusting. It's inhumane to sit here and to try to control someone's emotions, to try to control an individual to say, you shouldn't be grieving this way, you should be grieving this way.
This way.
Well, Candace doesn't pay Erica Kirk's mortgage either. She doesn't have to take care of her kids. She doesn't have to buy her food or clothes or anything. So for her to have the audacity and the gall to think that Erica Kirk should be living her life based upon what Candace Owens thinks is in and of itself completely soulless and heartless. And her supporters think we're supposed to care about how Candace Owens feels. No, we don't. We owe her nothing. We don't owe her a thing at all. Not even a little bit. So neither does Erica
right on
Kirk.
the money.
This is crazy. It's like, if that's what she's doing, it's like Mean Girl on steroids. And you're going after grieving widows that lost her husband. At the end of the day, Erica Kirk would rather her husband walk through that door. She would rather her husband, the father of her children, come home. She would rather Charlie Kirk be the CEO still of 2P USA. She would rather have him here. But the idea that, oh, well, you're not grieving this way. This is a real grieving widow here. It's disgusting. But Candace does not have to tell her 4 kids while their father is not coming home.
Correct.
She doesn't have to do that. So until she is in that position, which I hope never happens, she will never understand it. And it's disgusting that she is trying to give this false perception as if she does understand. And now she's trying to compare and control how someone grieves. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm gonna let him finish, but it's ridiculous. Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
It's not like a crazy thing to call a spouse a suspect. It happens all the time.
Yeah, but they're the first ones immediately that are ixnayed off of it. Let me ask you this question. Let's stick with the idea that you're proposing and pushing out. Why, if you're trying to say that TPUSA had a great benefit in doing this and such of that nature, why is it that the story, we wouldn't know anything about these quote unquote donors that were losing money or any of that nature, except for us going into another area with this story? Because it wasn't common knowledge. So it wasn't going to be like something like, hey, immediately, oh, y'all, donor Bob stopped giving money. But it wasn't.
Unearthed a lot of those things.
I apologize.
Candace did unearth a lot of those things. Like,
let me ask you a question. But
they weren't trying to show those things.
So help me understand immediately again, because you're not giving me money, because you're not accepting my money. I apologize. Well, and I was trying to point out, and maybe I wasn't clear because I'm listening to myself. I'm like, I probably should have said it better. If Turning Point was losing money, why would they delete the Golden Goose and they're in the process of losing money? How did they know that deleting the Golden Goose was going to increase the money flow? That's what I was. Exactly. That's what I was trying to say. I didn't do a good job saying it.
No. I was just trying to, because he's his volume is not all that great, and then
I'm sorry,
interrupting you. He's interrupting you and talking over you, and it's like I can't even hear what he's saying at all. So that's why I was like, wait, what? He said something. I just didn't catch it.
So and I apologize, y'all. When we had this call, and again, when people are calling in and they're not, podcasters or whatnot, they don't have good mics all the time. It sounds fine in my ears, and I did not know that it didn't sound good.
No, it's okay.
That it didn't sound good. And then let me get free friend. Look, I'm an equal opportunity offender. I'm a freeze friend. I'm gonna snatch my own self. I got myself that time. Don't worry, I got myself that time. All right, I got myself. I'm gonna add it to my ever.
He's in the middle of calling Peter an idiot, but he's just.
I think so. I think that's what I'm about to say. So I got myself. I'm gonna add myself to the large file that I'm gonna turn into the year-end shenanigans. Okay, we are now going to have you delete it. Help me make that make sense.
Because you're not because they wanted to give money and control the organization.
So for what? Like what would be the benefit of us deleting Charlie Kirk, who, by the way, is the biggest supporter of our platform? Hold on one second. But wait, I'm sorry. He just literally wrote a book on how to practice the Sabbath. Nobody was sitting there. Give me a second, Pete. Give me a second, brother. Nobody was sitting there saying, man, Charlie, first thing when his body hit the dirt, oh man, he was going against Israel. We had to come up and concoct those stories. But watch this. You do realize nobody with the same energy that you're coming up with, give me that same energy on why it could have been Trantifa. Give me that same energy on why it could have been the left or Islamists. But y'all won't. But you won't.
Well, it's because of so many. I mean, not only do I see a motive, I see the fact that, we didn't know that Charlie was kind of backing away from his Zionism stance. He still loved Jews, but he was clearly not wanting to go to war with Iran. He met with Trump. We didn't know about all this. We didn't know about the letter he wrote to Netanyahu saying, like, y'all are about to lose me. You're losing the
no, that letter was not bad at all. I've read the letter on the channel. I read the whole thing.
I think that letter, you can look at it both ways. But
Well, no, the letter was literally telling him how to use TikTok to reach out to young voters. Tell me what.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry. So another thing that
Yeah,
he
I
likes
read
to
that
do.
letter too. He just kind of skirted over what the letter actually
Well,
said. And we don't need to make up what the letter said. We can read it. Like, what is wrong with
well,
him?
this is the problem. You know what the problem is, right? Let me get. You know what the problem is, right, Lady Luck?
What?
Peter didn't read the letter.
Yeah.
He's literally going by what Candace has said about the letter. Again, for me to say I read the letter, and that's why he didn't like the fact that I said I feel very comfortable. I've watched just about every single video that she's done since Charlie Kirk's body hit the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like her interviews, but I've watched every video. So you're never going to tell me that I haven't watched them. And for crying out loud, I watch them with the best live chat on the internet. Everybody has seen me watch them.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
when somebody ill-informed comes in here and says something ignorant like that, and you say, well, no, wait, did you read it? In a moment, I'm going to ask him, did he read the charging documents? That's yet another thing. I don't know what this gentleman does, but maybe you should do the...
They don't read. They don't read at all. They just literally go on what she says, settles it in their mind. She's God. She's right. That's it. It's like, dude, you can read this on your own. You don't have to tell the rest of the code that you read the letter. Just read the letter so you can
Just
be informed of what it says, and you don't have to assume what it says. It's better to ask than make assumptions. It's better to be informed and to just read it than to theorize it. Just read it. No one has to know.
Also, and again, and I tell y'all right now, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter where the person stands. Just be able to ask questions. Okay. And be willing to stop and listen. Later on, I'm going to ask him about that infamous $250 million, the $250 million argument. And I ask him to prove to me where he gets it from. And I sit and wait.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sit and wait. Like, no, find that.
Yeah, exactly. To pull it up.
Oh, and he completely loses his mind. I mean, because again, the $250 million is not true. But by throwing it out there to him and said, well, can you show me? Because again, where did he get that from? He got it from Candace.
Exactly.
And Candace never showed any proof or evidence of that. So therefore, you ask them to show, where did you get this from?
Exactly.
Show it. Because what you're saying is that they raked in $80 million every month for the last 4 months. Stop and think about that.
Child.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. And I mean, honestly, they could pull up the tax documents to see what they're averaging about, and it has to be logical. It has to line up with what's trending. It has to line up with previous data. They just come up with numbers. Like Candace doesn't know the difference between the letter N and the number 9. She said that. So it's like I wouldn't trust her math either way.
So I just want to throw something out there. Shout out to this person right here to say the Grammys are starting. Can't wait to see the drama. LOL. I just thought about something. Don't people sign an NDA to go to the Grammys?
Sometimes they do. Yeah.
Right, because the Grammys aren't live. They were filmed last week, right?
Yeah, pre-recorded.
Right. Yeah. So people have to sign an NDA to not talk about what had happened at the Grammys.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, going back to what Peter was saying. Right. I don't want to mess up Peter's game, but I'm like, Peter, like that. And you said it was NDAs are bullying little people. No, I mean, the industry don't want people to know who got the Grammy yet. They want you to tune in on Sunday. There you go.
Yeah. Too much logic.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it live?
I don't watch the Grammys.
Is it? Okay. I haven't watched it and I couldn't tell you when.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. But if it's
Grammys, I'm sorry.
But wasn't I thought Don Lemon was there last week. I thought it was filmed, it was pre-recorded. Okay, anyway, if I'm wrong, guess what? I'll take it. I apologize. I was wrong. But guess what?
Okay.
I don't care. Here we go. Let's finish it up.
It was like mistakes you're making, like, and including, I believe, being so brutal and everything. But
me saying that you make mistakes
that we didn't see, all this stuff wasn't concocted. It was unearthed. There was text messages, in the group text that was confirmed by Andrew Colvett, where he did say, Israel's about to lose me. I don't want their money anymore. Essentially, we just lost $2 million from a donor. I mean, these were things we didn't know when he first got shot. I didn't know it.
Got you.
I thought it was just a trans, furry bunny person.
But wait, it's funny. Everything pointed to Trans Furry Bunny until Candace got on the microphone 2 days later and started up with other stories.
Well, she didn't start for a couple weeks. So she started,
No, she literally did 5 days later. Again, let me respectfully, Peter. I'm not new to this. I've been doing this for a minute, so as you can tell, I'm not making this up. And if we need to,
and he could just watch your videos. Is he?
I make me laugh,
Deacon.
I make me laugh. I'm not new to this.
What
the heck's wrong with me, man?
I love it. I love it.
Like, wait, what's wrong with me, man? Like,
you're muted.
Like again, I'm muted. Am I muted? What are you talking about? Am I muted? Hello?
Okay, I got you.
You're muted.
I know. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sorry.
But no, I just thought that was funny. Like, man, I crack me up sometimes. Anyway, I watch my movie. I watch my stuff back. And I'm like, what in the world was I talking about? Go ahead. Did you have something you want? I'm gonna keep this going.
You said I'm not new to this. But see, you just told him you've been reacting to her show every day since September
really
10th or whatever. I mean, and I haven't gotten the interviews, but I've done all the other episodes. I just don't do her comments part. But he could literally watch your playlist and just go and see what you've reacted to, what you said.
Right.
And he's sitting here trying to tell you what has already been recorded in video evidence. Like,
yeah, you're doing the wrong move.
We're not contorting reality at all here. We're not going to go walk into that alternate reality wherever Candace's mind has gone. I wish she would take her body with her, but we're not willing to go to some alternate reality to try to believe her nonsense. We're not going to do it. So for him to try to go against what's in video evidence to say, oh no, that's not the case. When you haven't read the charging document, when you haven't read the letter, when you have not seen all my videos where you can get concrete proof of what has been said and done, it's ridiculous. What are you negating right now? What are you saying no to? That would have been my question to him. What are you saying?
Let me say this, because I don't want to fall into the trap of the Brigitte Macron trap, which is, have you watched the whole series? You can't complain unless you. I'm not going to do that to him. I'm not going to do that to Peter. What I am going to say, though, is like you can pull up the charging documents. You can read the BB letter. You can do that on your own. Like, you can at least be like, oh, yeah, I did read the BB letter. And on page 5, it said this. Or I did read the charging document. I'm not really clear about what they're saying on the 19th, in the 19th paragraph, whatever. But to have read nothing. And I pull this person up right here. Shout out to Francisca right here. So he didn't read the letter. You can put letter, BB letter, charging document, fill in the blank, anything.
Right.
And form his own opinion. Just following Candace Owens' words blindly. That's it right there. Exactly that was the problem. Shout out to you. A very great, keen observation. And again, you don't have to watch everything I do, because again, it's a lot. And sometimes I look up, I'm like, how in the world is this 4.5 hours long? What in the world? I'll look at the number. I'm like, what's wrong with me? So I don't expect.
I would rather he say, I don't know, or I'm not familiar with that because I haven't seen all the episodes. I have not read the letters, so I can't say yay or nay to anything. Like, I would rather they just do that, but they don't. They're trying to take this affirmative stance, and they're loud and wrong.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
No, I don't know about that one, Lady Luck. I'm gonna say no. You can read that BB letter. It's 5 pages long. You can read that. You can read the charging doc and just be like, okay, yeah, I did read the charging documents. I still don't think I understand or I appreciate whatever ABC. But you know why they don't read the charging documents? Because Candace didn't read the charging documents.
Exactly.
That's why. Because they're only getting this information from Candace, where you and myself, I think we're both, and pretty much everybody in the this is the letter that Charlie Kirk wrote to Bibi Netanyahu, the one that Candace says that Bibi misinterpreted. Right. And I read the letter because they posted it in the New York Times. So we read it, and it's very favorable to Israel. It's not some, you better get your stuff right. I'm packing my bags. It's not you, it's me type of Dear John letter. It's really a very supportive, encouraging letter to help Israel with their positioning here in the United States and abroad from the young people. Right. I thought it was very on the nose. But my point is, you don't have to watch all of my content. I'm not saying I'm not God. You don't have to watch all my content. What I am saying, however, is at least read the charging document. At least know at least know what he said in the BB letter so that you won't say something ignorant like he was about to leave Israel. What page did he say that on? What paragraph is that? I'll wait.
Exactly.
What page? What
No,
paragraph?
I agree. I agree. He should have read it. I'm just saying for the sake of the argument or the conversation. At that time, he had not. I would have rather he have said, I have not read it yet. I can't speak to that, as opposed to him trying to give some definitive, response like, oh no, that's not what it said. Like he's disagreeing, but he can't even recite or admit that he read it. Like he's giving this affirmative statement as if he knows the information based on some concrete evidence, and he doesn't.
And that's
that's
the problem.
He would have been better off just saying, I didn't read it yet.
Right. He could have said that. But remember, the only person that brought it up is him. He brought the charging documents up. I didn't bring the charging documents up. I want to talk about Candace. He wants to try to dance around the. I'm like, no, we can talk about Candace. I'm here for that. We can book, chapter, verse, context, all of these. So I'm not making it up. I'm respectfully trying to tell you.
She heard
these things are not true. What you're saying
from the F was not true.
What you just said right there.
Well, what you just I don't remember what podcast she started talking about it. Okay, that was a while ago. But point is, she didn't immediately come out the gate saying, "Oh, this was a conspiracy." She was grieving, and then as we started hearing inconsistencies from the FBI story, like the 30-06 that no one has questioned, or the fact that he somehow deconstructed the gun, and they're saying that he reconstructed it and it was hiding in that bush. It all seems so plain.
Who said that, by the way? Who's the one that said that he deconstructed the gun? I don't remember. Do you remember? All right, at the presser. This is I'll just tell y'all right here. This is me being 1,000% disingenuous. I knew that he was going to say something boneheaded. And so I'm literally asking him a question because I want to throw him. I really, truly, the blood is in the water. I've already got my bib on. I'm ready to eat. I'm ready to start. I'm ready to eat. So I'm asking him this question, not because I don't know the answer. I'm asking him this question because he has proven to me now 3 times that he is not prepared for these questions. So that's why I asked him, who said that the gun was deconstructed on the rooftop?
Right.
That's why I asked him that. And I'm not going to let him go. I'm not going to, because I'm ready to eat. I was hungry at that point and I'm ready to eat.
And if you he said, if you notice, he said that I don't know which podcast she started it on. Well, she's already had her own podcast when Charlie Kirk was assassinated. So he's saying, well, she started talking about it before. You said 5 days after. You were very definitive with that. Mm-hmm. He was like, no, that's not the case. I think she was talking about another podcast. I don't remember. Which one?
I mean, remember,
she started talking about it on her own podcast. So which other podcast is he referring to? Like, he didn't even name the specific podcast because it doesn't exist.
Because he doesn't. These are a lot of just platitudes. He's just talking. He's just pontificating. As my daughters like to say, he's just yapping. All right. But watch this. Let me get this up. Okay. I'm ready to eat.
You can't see it.
Oh, sorry about that. See it, I'm looking at my screen. Y'all ain't see it. You could hear it though, right?
No, I couldn't hear it either. So take.
Oh no! Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just over here cooking.
You good?
I'm sorry.
Get back to the beginning. You ready to eat, y'all? Let's get this fried chicken in.
The fact that he somehow deconstructed the gun, and they're saying that he reconstructed it and it was hiding in that bush. It all seems so plain.
Who said that, by the way? Who's the one that said that he deconstructed the gun? I don't remember. Do you remember at the presser who said that?
No, but that is part of the FBI narrative.
Can I tell you?
Well, they said he deconstructed the gun. They found
who's they?
The FBI. They found a screwdriver.
Actually, it was the governor of Utah.
Oh, okay, so still part of
it. Wasn't the FBI.
All right.
And it wasn't the FBI. Did you read the charging documents at all?
I mean, only from what I've heard on podcasts.
Did you? Okay, I would suggest that you read the charging documents. They don't say that he deconstructed the gun. That was the governor who said that.
What's the explanation for the fact that
Okay, wait. Okay, wait.
Look how he's trying to switch away from that.
You eating my leg off here. You eating my leg off over here, Jay Witt. But what about my arm? What about my arm, my guy? You eating my leg off. What about my arm? How about
wait.
How about my other leg? You want to get them both at the same time?
Oh man.
No, sir.
Like he's trying to hold on. Wait. Well, what about this?
No, what about no?
What about isms?
We don't do what about isms. I just told you didn't read the charging documents. Go read the charging documents.
The
In a moment, I'm going to tell them,
FBI
go do your homework and stop coming over here unprepared.
Thank you. The FBI is not spearheading the investigation. The FBI is not to all the Cantifas, the Candy supporters, the cult members. Please hear me, and hear me well. The FBI is not spearheading the investigation of Tyler Robinson. The FBI is not spearheading the investigation. It is the state of Utah. Candace herself has already said this. Why do you all forget that piece of information and immediately go back to something about the feds? We don't care. They're not spearheading the investigation.
Because Candace spends so much time talking about Fed slop and the Fed narrative that if she goes back and say it's not the feds, she's going to have to, well, she's never going to actually admit that she's wrong. But she just doesn't want to lose that little bit of support from her sycophants by saying it's not the feds, it's Utah, or it's the Utah PD or whatever like that. She doesn't want to do that. She wants to keep. That's why she'll just stop talking about it. Like she doesn't mention it. She just won't. That's why I took FBI off of our Candy Rock Bingo board, because she stopped talking about the FBI.
Exactly.
All right, let's keep it going.
Let's go.
Every single gun expert has said that's not a 30-06. The FBI seems to be putting out some weird false narratives about the gun.
Let's talk about the 30-06, because I think this is going to be very interesting. Do you realize that Candace has stopped talking about the 30-06? She was going hard in the paint. No, I'm going to explain to you why.
Sure.
I'll explain to you why. She was going hard in the paint about the 30-06. Are you a gun person at all?
No, but I mean, it was just everybody online that is a gun person.
That's fine. I would highly recommend and suggest just take a little bit of time and just look at a 30-06, the actual gun. Do you know the different caliber of bullets that gun can produce?
No.
Is it only one or several different kinds? No. I should have said grain of bullet. I should have said grain.
Yeah.
It's grain.
I got you.
It's not caliber. I should have said grain.
No.
Yeah.
It can shoot several different kinds.
Okay.
Now, if you know that that gun came from his grandfather, it kind of makes sense that this gun is not meant to take down a moose or a bear. And you can use projectiles that are very simple, that will take out a coyote, that'll take out a fox.
And not leave an exit
wound. And not leave an exit wound, because they're not meant to go through the thing, because they don't want to take out what's behind it. So the reason I brought up that Candace doesn't talk about it anymore, because they told her what caliber of bullet it was when Erica came to speak to her. So now
I haven't looked that up recently. So you
can I would just encourage you. I would just encourage you.
Yeah, I'll look
because rather than say that somebody is wrong or obsessed, or of course the usual Zionist Jew 7,000 shekels, maybe just look at it, because it would be beneficial. And I'm not saying that you got to come where I am. You can still believe and hear what I'm not. Don't hear what I didn't say. I didn't say that asking questions is bad. Okay. And I've said this ad nauseum on my channel. I use the example that another crime scene investigator gave. If you have a 100-piece puzzle and you have 97 pieces and you cannot find the 3, do you throw away the puzzle? Do you say that the puzzle's not done, or do you deny what the picture is showing you because you don't have the 3 pieces? Or are you comfortable with the fact that, you know what, I got 97. I still, these 3 are really bothering me. But boy, I know what the picture is. It's a train. I know what my picture is. It's an orchard. Yeah, which one do you do?
So let's address you're kind of stepping back, making a broader point, and I get it.
Okay, no problem.
And I think it can make sense in some situations. Now, I haven't followed up on the whole gun evidence issue in a while.
So one of the things I noticed, and I talked to somebody.
This is ridiculous.
I talked to somebody after it, and I don't want to butcher it up, but I'm just going to give like a highbrow understanding, because he gave me it is a theory, and it is called. Is it the basal theory? Is basically you have an idea, but based upon new information, you move that idea around based upon new information.
Okay.
Right. So a perfect example would be a basketball player standing at half court on a regulation basketball court. If he is going to shoot the ball, is there a high probability he's going to hit the goal, or a low probability he's going to hit the goal?
If he's standing
at half court,
he's at half court
and shoots the ball, is a high probability he's going to make it, or a low probability?
Lower. If he's at half court, lower.
It's a low. Okay. Now, if I give you some more information, that might change your thought, right?
It depends on that information being factually based, but yeah. It
Yeah,
could.
okay. So if I said the basketball player was Steph Curry, that would
That
probably
might
change
raise it
your
up
thought.
to, yeah, that would
There we
raise up
go.
the
Right.
stakes because he's
So
more trained at it. Yep.
there we
Okay.
go. Now, if I said the first time, if I said it was me, I'm the basketball player, y'all say, oh no, y'all would be right in betting against me. Right. And you would be money earned. You know it. Bet against Jason. You're gonna make your money. But if Steph Curry was there, you're gonna be like, I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
know.
gonna bet on Steph Curry because
I'm gonna bet on Curry,
trained and
right?
he's got it down packed. He knows what
There we
he's doing.
go. There we go. And so, but based upon that information, right?
Right,
So
exactly.
new information changed where you were. A moment ago, you said it was a 50-50 chance.
Mhm.
Once I said it was me, you was like, oh man, it's a 100% chance he's gonna miss it. But once I said Steph Curry, you're like, I don't know, man. It might be
I'm
60-40.
about 92% up there.
Right.
He could
I'm gonna
probably
put
make it
92
up
cent on this and put 8 cent against him. Because we
Right.
know, and if I put him at the 3-point line, you just know is money
Right.
earned. You know that based upon new information. Candace's people, when they get new information, they just completely just ignore it. They act like new information doesn't change what's going on.
Right.
So if I said, if they said there was no exit wound, so it had to be this type of bullet. Well, wait, there's other types of bullets that gun can shoot. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, so you mean it like, because I've seen videos of people hunting coyotes in their sheep pastures, stuff like that. They don't want it to hit the sheep behind them, so the bullet doesn't. That doesn't make sense.
Right.
Based upon new information, I have to change my original assumption.
Right. And here's the thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, Cantifa just can't seem to do that. Go ahead.
They can't. And here's the thing: the new information has to feed into her narrative.
It
even
can
if
only
she
go that
knows
direction.
it can
Yes.
only go in the direction of where if it's making the point I'm making, fine. If it doesn't fall in line with what I want to say, what I want people to take from that, I don't care about it. Her putting it out there, prime example, her putting it out there herself after having the meeting with Erica Kirk that the FBI is not spearheading the investigation. I never said they're not offering support. I said they're not leading it. There's a difference. And when I speak, I'm very specific with my terminology that Lexus can tell you. So when she came out and said that, her cult base still did not, they still did not take heed to that. It's as if they dismissed it because it's not what she had been feeding them for 3 months since September 10th. So if it doesn't feed along the narrative, even if she says it, she sees that it doesn't work. So with this new information, unless she's creating a whole new storyline like she tried to do on Friday, whole new storyline coming out of nowhere. It's a repeat of how we got here with Mitch Snow. Let me read this letter that came from this person. I'm not giving their name, blah, blah, blah. Whole new storyline now. Unless it's
very familiar, very
pivoting, hardcore pivot, that new information that could possibly debunk what she's saying that will cause her to have to say, oh, I was wrong, or I got this wrong, or let me correct this, or you know what? It doesn't feed along where I'm going, but here's the information that's factually based. If it's not doing exactly what she wants it, she doesn't care. And when she has said it, her audience didn't care because they still keep talking about Fed slop. The Feds are like, leave us out of this. We're not
like, get us out this group chat.
We're not here to lead anything. We're supporting if they need our help, but we're not leading it. We're letting the state of Utah that has jurisdiction do what they need to do. So why do you keep saying Fed slop? Why Fed? Why not just say the state prosecutor? State prosecutor slop. Like, go there.
Well, like I said,
it doesn't feed in her narrative.
Yeah, and I'll just say it again, the new information should drive your conversation differently. And that's what I'm trying to get Peter to understand. You do realize that the charging documents say something different than what you're saying. But that isn't even new information. That's information that's been there. You just didn't choose to educate yourself and be aware of it. So you came in here ill prepared, and that's why we're eating your leg off now.
Yeah,
I'm about to go for your torso.
Like, that's emotional blackmail
That's
that
cool.
Charlie Kirk would have been against. Because can we just look at the facts? The facts is
Look.
USA, Mikey McCoy, as soon as Charlie got hit, walks away, keeps walking, never ducks or looks. Is there an active shooter? I mean, it's just, there's so many weird things. And then when you look at the financial motive, that they've now taken over this company of their supposed best friend, and they're reaping in even more money than TPS USA was reaping in under Charlie, $250 million in the past 6 months. So clearly, Charlie was an impediment to the money they were receiving. And to me, the motive and the way they acted so weird, and some inconsistencies, at least in the FBI narrative, making me very suspicious and think it probably was a cover up.
I got you. And I
there's a lot of weird things, man. And just to call say people, oh, well, you can't. Let me bring up one other quick thing.
Man,
people don't like this, but
run through words.
Right. He just speed running through memes. He's just going through memes. And I know some people didn't like that part. I just let them talk, and I'm working on it because, one, I know that you don't actually have new content. You're not bringing in a challenge. You're not saying, hey, on this page, you're not bringing research. You didn't do any homework. You're just speaking from platitudes. And I want you to just keep talking because you've already put yourself in the trick bag. You're already in there. You're comfy and cozy in the trick bag. All I'm going to do is cinch it up, tie it up, and throw it in the ocean. Because, like, you put yourself in this position.
Right.
Like, the fact that you did not read the charging documents, you're not familiar with the BB letter, you're not familiar with the times and instances that Candace has lied.
Exactly.
To me, then you walked in there ill prepared.
Right. And here's the thing, if for nothing else, I would let him get it out just so I can say, if he tries to repeat himself, okay, now you're repeating yourself. You've already said this, but you're still wrong. What also bothers me about this is, let's look at the facts. Okay, the definition of fact does not come into your opinion. Your opinion is not an automatic fact. Mm-hmm. Your opinion is what it is. So a fact has to be supported by some level of evidence or documentation or proof or evidence, something. Otherwise, that's just saying I'm suspicious of it and then saying, oh, well, that's considered to be a fact. That's not what a fact is defined to be. So when he says it's a fact they walked off, that doesn't prove intent. That is not evidence to support the intent or what was the true reason as to why they walked away. How does that have any implication to do with them being guilty of having any role in the assassination of Charlie Kirk? Simply because they walked up, people ran out from the field because they heard a gunshot. So is everybody there? All 3,000 people there must be just as guilty, right?
Well, I didn't bring this up, but just think about it. Okay, 3,000 people ran, right? Or the people filed out of there quickly, right? Mike McCoy did what he did, but what did the security team do?
They jumped over to cover Charlie Kirk.
Why did they do that?
To protect him from any future potential firing.
Got you. That's what they trained to do. Yeah, that's what they trained to do. So is that too much? So if that's not weird, that's the security team did that, because we never saw them training. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and talk. I got to sneeze.
So while Deacon is sneezing, I would, let's start. Let's recap for a second. So Peter just said, let's look at the facts. Mikey McCoy took a call as soon as Charlie Kirk was shot. The fact of him taking a call or calling out someone is all that is. That is the only fact, because you see that in the video. That's it. That does not prove intent. It does not prove that he was involved. It just shows he walked off. So
it also doesn't prove that anything is wrong.
It doesn't prove anything is wrong or right about that. It's a simple act of him walking away. Just like you saw other people running away. You saw people ducking. You saw people taking cover. You saw people just freeze and stand still. That can be proven in a video. What is the intent of all of that? What is the purpose of even bringing that up? That, to me, if they go on that and then they muddy it by saying, I find it to be suspicious because now you're talking about the money and this, that, and they're trying to tie in this one fact to all of these other suspicions to try to make that one conclusion that, oh yeah, he's definitely involved. That's not how it works when it comes
Yeah.
to the investigation or in the court of law. That's not how evidence is presented. So when he says it's a fact, he's not citing facts. He's basically saying, here's what happened in the video, and here's why I'm suspicious of everything else that precedes it. But it's irrelevant.
So
It still doesn't tie back to them having any involvement.
So, no, I agree 1,000%. But I was pointing out, like, nobody said that it's weird or odd or suspicious that the security team did what they're supposed to do. You know, Candace immediately said that Mike McCoy should have dove in there or that Frank Turek should have got involved. And they're like, no, they knew what they were supposed to do. And they knew who was doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I think it's very, first of all, it's very juvenile in its thought processing. And, but this is my issue, and I've said this a lot in this show already, and I'll probably say it more before we finish. These people have outsourced their critical thinking to Candace. And if she says it, or she's okay with it, or she disparages it, then that's what we run with. That's what we're okay with it, or we disagree with it because Candace has done it. And that's, I'm sorry, she's proven herself to be untrustworthy in that. And so for you to run and be like, oh, well, Candace said this, that, and other, what does that mean? Like you're saying, it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. And I would say I don't care, because what Candace says means nothing when it comes down to it in the court of law. So she's not giving us any factual information. She won't even give us definitions of terms or read the letter or read the indictment. Who cares what she says? She's not saying anything that's even factually based for them to say, here are the facts. What are the facts again?
Right. I don't know.
Word. I don't think they understand the definition of the word fact.
I would love for Cantifa to ask Candace, what are the facts that we know right now?
Right.
What are the facts that on your little board and your little timeline of crazy that you come up with? What are some facts that we know and that you are settled with? I really truly would be kind of amazed by that list, because I don't think Candace believes because I know somebody in Cantifa that doesn't think that Charlie Kirk is actually deceased.
Yeah, they believe he's still alive. Some of them still believe that. They don't.
I don't know.
He's
like
dead.
again,
That would go against what Candace said, right? Candace believes he's dead.
But well, I don't know. I mean, does she actually believe he's dead? I would love for her to just answer that question. Do you believe he's deceased?
I'll tell you right now, Candace will tell you all whatever she needs to say to keep you all watching. She's going to go along with whatever the majority of her audience, her platform, whatever they're moving towards, that's what she's going to go with, period. Like if it gets down to where she feels it's beneficial to say that, parts of me do believe that Charlie Kirk is not dead. I feel his presence. I had a vision. I had a dream. I've seen him walking on a lake. Like if she feels like that would become more beneficial for her to go along that narrative, she's going to start saying that. Now, Helpful, let me be clear with you, Candace. I'm not telling you to say that, but I know how you operate. And I know if you feel there's some sort of incentive, you're going to start doing it because you're not using your own brain either. Your audience controls you.
Yeah. So let's get done. Let's keep it rolling.
And I'll let you respond. And then it's always the responses from Erica Kirk and TPS USA is just like, you're bad people. Erica Kirk literally goes, and Candace tried to hold off on criticizing her for a long time because I think she felt weird about that. It was like, this is a grieving widow. But after a while, she started acting so weird. Let me finish and I'll let you respond for sure. And then one thing she said, she's like, well, if you criticize TPUSA, you're criticizing family. And then the same family, she fired 40 of them all of a sudden, even though in that leaked phone call, she promises not to fire anybody.
And for what reason, though? For what reason?
Due to financial reasons.
Due to financial reasons, right? So that doesn't mean if you do a piss poor job that you got to stay. It doesn't mean, it just says that we're not going to fire you because we don't have the money. I just want to be honest. I just want to point that out. So before you go, I just want to point this out. All right, I don't feel like I should have did this part. To be honest with you, this was not my best because I don't think I explained. I'm not a gunsmith at all. I'm not the best with gun terminology. I feel like I muddled this up, and this video isn't the best video either. I was looking while he was talking to pull one up because there is one that explains the 30-06 really well. I just couldn't find it in the fly, so I'm gonna go ahead and eat the crow while I'm eating this guy's leg. But I'm just letting you know, I just don't think I was being. This is not my best moment right here.
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, he didn't really take anything you said and think about it. You know, he's not using critical skills. So
Well, that is true too.
honestly,
So
I
he
just
probably didn't know that I did a bad job explaining
yeah,
this.
he doesn't. He wouldn't know the difference.
All right, let's
You
keep
did fine.
dancing.
Okay.
Okay. So these are the different, and we're gonna watch this quick clip real quick. These are the different type of projectiles that can come out of a 30-06.
Okay.
Okay. We'll just watch it real quick because I want you to see. And then I'm going to talk about Mike McCoy, and I do want to talk about the other things that you said. And I just want you to see this. And again, you don't have to take my word for it. Stop by your local gun range and ask and talk with them.
But they didn't find the bullet, did they?
Well, let's find it out. Let's find it out. I just want you to see, like, look at the caliber, look at the size. Even if you're not a bullet person, you can look at the size and say, whoa, some of these are pretty intense. Some of these look like they might take out a tank. Some of these might.
But shouldn't they know which bullet it is if there was no exit wound?
It's fragmented. So we're going to talk about it. That's why I just want you to see this.
Okay.
And oh, by the way, your girl confirmed that it was a fragmented bullet, that it broke apart inside of her. She said that.
She said that too.
What it is. I mean, I'm asking.
But I'm just saying, but she said it though. She said it. That's the part. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
He doesn't even care that she said it.
like she said it.
She said it. Well, I don't understand. They picking and choosing what they want to believe in her. It makes no sense.
She said it, my dude. Like, I'm not the one saying it. She said it.
Candace said it.
It was a frangible bullet. I didn't make that up. She said it on the 16th when she came back from talking with Erica. That's why she stopped talking. That's why she stopped making the big deal about the 30-06. But let's just watch it real quick. Let's just watch it for laughs and giggles.
Yeah, man.
All right, guys, check this out. First, make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more videos like this. These are all 30 calibers. See if you can guess them before I tell you what they are. This one on the end here, that is a 300 blackout. Then we got 7.62 by 39. Then we got a 30-30, has that round nose. Next, that's a 308. This blue tip one, that's Norma Bond Strike. That's a 300 Winchester short mag. This one, that's a 7.62 by 54R, goes in a Mosin. This one, this is a 30-06, that round tip, that's a Corlock round.
Mm-hmm.
This one, second to last, that is a 300 Win Mag, that orange tip, that's a Norma Tip Strike. And this big Mac Daddy down here at the end is a 300 Remington Ultra Mag. Comment down below which one is your favorite, and make sure you're subscribed.
So when you look at that, you see that bullet is the brass on the bullet is pretty long, but the actual bullet, the projectile itself is extremely small.
Oh, can I ask?
And so,
real quick.
No, and so the reason I wanted to point that out, and I had not looked at it before, there's actually a better one. I just don't know where it is. I'll find it. But I just want you to see there are different bullets, and that's all I want to point out to you. So we are going to find out during the trial exactly what kind of bullet. If they say it was a tank mortar, then we all got problems. We all got problems. So therefore, but go ahead.
That Andrew Colvett was bringing up, like how it was a miracle Charlie's neck. It must have been Superman neck, because it seems like he had been told from the autopsy. This came right after the doctor had examined him, that it was one of the larger types of bullets.
It was no, it wasn't an autopsy. Because it was literally it wasn't an autopsy. It was a medical examination, which is fine. But let's just be honest. Come on now, Pete.
Like a lot of like weird things.
Pete, the fact that you would look at people who were there at the scene, with various forms of dealing with trauma, of seeing this, and they say, hey, by the way, the doctor said this, and maybe he didn't say it. I don't know if the doctor said he was really strong, is because
can't hear you, bro.
I'm gonna stop for a second, because one of the things Candace is kind of seeded out into Cantifa, and if you're a member of Cantifa, you're supposed to be up here in the front of the church anyway. Get on up here.
Okay.
All right. But one of the things that she's seeded out there into the audience is if anybody misspeaks at any moment, that is problematic.
Right.
And it to me, is not being gracious to humans at all. That humans can you lie? Yes, you can lie. That is true. Humans lie, I lie, all of us lie. That's why we need Christ. However, there are instances where we might misspeak. We might say something in hyperbole. We might overstate something well beyond what it really was, right? And I think that's being understanding and fair. And somebody says something like, you know what? Okay, fine. The whole Superman neck thing, to me, I really hope that comes back and haunts Candace. Personally, I despise that because, ma'am, like you're going above and beyond. You're going above and beyond. And the fact that he brings it up is just kind of, again, you're not demonstrating any kind of graciousness or any kind of just respect on the fact that, sure, you misspoke. I'll give you that. You shouldn't have said that. Okay, fine. But she makes it a sticking point. And I was thinking about it today. I said, you know what? Candace must have been a horrible, horrible student to have in class because
yes.
she zeroes in on the most ancillary thing and she won't leave it alone. I said, I could hear Candace saying, well, Miss Bumblebee, why do we drive in parkways and park in driveways? I could see her giving her teacher fits in second grade about that. Ma'am, that's just the way they name it. But why did they name it that? Because they do. But why? I can see her just literally.
That's what she said. She does
being stuck on that, right? Being stuck on something like we drive in parkways and we park in driveways. I can see her like really losing her mind about that. And like, ma'am, let it go. It's okay. I don't understand why they named it that, but go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think, the idea of a euphemism or a point of phrase is not something that Candace registers. And she wants to point them to be a liar so bad. She will just kind of deny the aspect of it being a euphemism or a point of phrase or just a point of expression. And she'll sit here and say, well, this is literally what they said, and it is literally not true. We can speak in literal too when it comes to Candace, but see, when we do that, her cult then get upset because they know that there's no evidence or documentation or facts to support what she says literally. Right. And it comes down to, once again, I don't care what Andrew Kovitz said about him having a Superman neck. It's irrelevant because that is not going to fly in court. It's not going to be something that the jury is going to consider when they're reviewing the evidence. Who cares about a euphemism? Who cares? The only person that cares about that is Candace, only because she's twisting it up to try to give this appearance that they lied about something. They gave us something that is not factually correct. Gotcha. Who has a Superman neck? Maybe a Loki Man of Steel. Who has a Superman neck? Seriously.
I don't know, but and I think I asked him this. I believe I do. What does that mean? Like, okay, fine. Andrew Kovitz lied. The doctor did not say that he had super strong bones and he was really healthy. And Andrew Kovitz lied. He just outright, unequivocally lied. The whole thing.
Yeah, how dare he?
What does that mean? But what does that mean though? Okay, fine. I'm gonna give you what you say. But what is the punchline? What's the upshot of that? Now jump from Andrew Kovitz lied to now they deleted Charlie Kirk. How do you get there from this statement? Because otherwise the statement really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, again, I don't think he really meant it like that. And maybe he was being hyperbole. Okay, whatever. Maybe he was trying to be like super. I don't know. I have no idea.
Euphemism. It was an exaggeration.
Maybe he's just exaggerating. Maybe he's just trying to, encourage everybody to know his head didn't get blown off or whatever. I don't know why he did it. Right. But I do know it doesn't matter though. It doesn't change one fact of the case. Exactly. So you're not going to say Tyler Robinson didn't kill him because Andrew Kovitz said he had a Superman neck.
Right.
That won't change anything. It's
not going to have any weight. It won't hold any weight in court. This man could have said he's got the feet of, Harry the walking beast monster. Who cares? Like, it's irrelevant. It has nothing to do.
What are you talking about?
Harry feet. The Harry the monster that walked in the forest. He could have the feet of Harry. The walking monster in the forest.
What are you talking about? I'm timing you out. Girl, bye. What are you talking about? He had healthy bones, but we do know that the bullet hit.
Why are they saying these things? So many.
But let me finish this up because let me finish it up. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
So because Andrew Kovitz said something that both you and I agree, like I probably wouldn't have said that. That means they killed him.
There's so many things like that. The fact that I just found out that when she arrived, she sat on the tarmac for an hour and waited for Andrew.
Oh my gosh!
Your husband.
Hold on. Please tell me what the problem. I'm gonna tell y'all something really funny. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell y'all something really funny. Okay. If you follow my channel, you know what I'm about to say. Okay, here's the question.
Okay.
Lady Dear Woke Christian is currently where? Right at this very moment in the chat. Tell me exactly where my wife is. They know where my wife is.
Sitting in the
what? Wait. But type it in the chat.
Okay.
Where's Lady Dear Will Christian right at the second? She's sitting in the garage. She's been in the garage for 15 minutes.
She said, "What
She
am I
was sitting in
walking
the
in
garage.
on? I'm just
I
gonna
don't know.
take my time
She
coming
went-
in this house."
She just I don't know why. She's sitting in the garage right now. I have no
It's
idea
okay,
why.
lady. It's okay, Lady Dear Well Christian. It's okay. You got sometimes you just gotta let me go
She
to
just gotta
go to
look.
God in prayer.
She got it
That's what it
right. She
is.
got me as her husband. She said, Lord, this man that you gave me, Jesus. And I'm looking, and she's sitting in
We
the
came in
garage.
when you talking about Harry Henderson.
And I'm like, she's sitting in the garage right now. And her and my daughter, they must be eating something because they're both in the garage. Like, what in the
They
world?
trying not to share. Tell them, how dare you all not share that fish sandwich? I smell it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. But
Tell them
my
to come in
point
and
is,
say,
I just think like how I'm just gonna say it, man. How deflected this argument is that she stayed on the tarmac for an hour, therefore she killed him. Like, what are you talking about?
"We're talking about."
Why does that matter? Like, dude, like Candace's people. By the way, Cantiva, I know y'all upset. Cantiva, I understand. I understand.
Oh, they hate my
name is
guts, honey. I
Jason.
don't care.
My name
They
is
hate my
Jason. Cantiva, I understand y'all upset. My name is Jason, and I don't care. Okay, I don't care.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. I'm gonna keep making fun of me because the stuff that y'all fixate on really shows that you're retarded. That's just it. I'm sorry. It just shows that. Like the fact that the woman stayed on the tarmac for an hour. That's the reason why you're going to say that she did something fishy or suspicious. Like, come on, like just stop it.
I was like, "What if she passed out?" And she was like unconscious, like she blacked out.
What if she passed out? Is crazy.
Out in the on the tarmac in the plane for an hour. She was blacked out the whole time. Then what? Like, good grief! You tell your wife to come in here. I want to question her. I need to see if she committed a murder today. She sat in the car for too long in the garage. So,
she might have passed out in the car. She might be asleep in the car. I really want to know what they're doing. Because I can see in the camera. I see them like, why y'all sitting in the car? Why y'all sitting in the car?
We're getting suspicious. We're wondering if it's a murder that's occurred. We don't have time. She got a murk going on, and we need to know what's happening.
I can turn on the microphone and talk to her and be like, what are y'all doing out there? But they have to like be paying attention. Like, what are y'all doing out there? I'm not gonna do. Because they're gonna be like, why are you bothering me?
Text her and say, listen, we got a scenario here, right? You know, we got
the cars in the garage. Like, why is the car in the garage?
But all right, why y'all sitting in there? Because last time the audience thought people were murking somebody if they sat in the car too long. You can't sit in the car too long. That's an indication you definitely murk.
Why are y'all in my garage? Please go do something with yourselves. Why are you in my garage? Like, but the fact that Candace's people have become so they've outsourced their thinking to the degree and level that they've allowed this woman to tell them that if somebody is sitting in their car decompressing, I don't know why they're sitting in the car. I really don't know.
Oh my God, Lord, bless their heart.
I don't know why they sit in the car, but whatever. That's suspicious. I'm gonna let Peter keep talking, but oh my gosh. What that is. Why does that mean she killed him if she just sat there and waited for an hour? What does that mean?
I don't even think she killed him. I just think that.
What does it mean though?
It's very weird behavior.
No, Peter, respectfully, I don't want weird anymore. Tell me what it means.
What it means that she could have known.
Did what?
She was okay with it. That she,
man, Peter, come on.
What do you
man, come on, Pete.
What do you mean?
Stop it.
Bro, you went in. Oh, why you paused? So well done.
Okay.
I'm so proud
Sometimes
of you.
my own rants.
I have no idea.
There's a.
I'm so proud
I'm gonna
of
tell you. For the longest time, there's a content creator here on YouTube. She and I talk on the phone pretty regularly.
Okay.
And she has told me, like, Jason, your rants are amazing. You got to record these. I can't believe I didn't record these. So I'm actually looking at it like this is exactly what this person has been saying for the longest. Like, I'm embarrassed. Like, again, this is not peak rant Jason. You have not met car rant Jason yet. No.
God,
your girl met him the other day though. She met him the other day. peak car
It
rant
was
Jason.
glorious. I love it.
I'm
Oh, we
like-
gotta go over that video, dude. it
I'm
was
just embarrassed, like, dog, man.
Why
Because
you
I know where I'm
embarrassed?
going. I know where I'm going. I'm like, good gracious alive,
Don't
man.
be. You did so well. I'm so proud of you. I'm
No,
just
y'all
so
are
proud of
wild.
you.
Y'all are wild as all get out. Okay, let's go. She's okay with it and sat there for an hour?
Investigating a witness.
Pete, come on, Pete. I'm sorry. Dude, we doing the most now.
No,
I'm sorry.
that's
No,
not-
that Pete, that doesn't make sense. Peter, you telling me a woman is okay with her husband getting murdered because she sat on the tarmac for an hour waiting for somebody to walk with her to go through it?
Things like that.
Pete, you got hold on, man. That is the most ridiculous and insensitive, Candy-esque type of foolishness that I've heard so far. The woman sat there and waited, and because she sat there and waited, she was okay with her husband getting deleted. Write that on a piece of paper and say that out loud. That's insane, man. I'm sorry, bro. Now you're doing the most there. I'm sorry.
Yep.
It's not.
Well
man.
said.
It's not weird to say, hey, someone's acting weird after this murder. I don't know what it means, but it sure is weird behavior. That's not a weird thing to say. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Pete, if I sat there and did that to you, that would be insensitive and wrong to do.
What do you mean to me in what situation?
If I said that, I don't know your marital status, I don't know any of that. I'm just gonna say, if I said that to you, well, Pete did not run immediately and fall on the ground and do black funeral impersonations over his wife's death, then that's weird. Then that's wrong. Oh my gosh, he must have been in on it because he is her spouse. He is her spouse, and therefore, anybody who the spouse is always the first one to look at. Come on, Pete.
No, it is. It's true, man. That's how the police look at things in normal.
But
cases.
No,
you're the only one looking at it like that.
False. That is so false. That is.
He's just saying things. He's just saying things he saw in Law and Order, man.
Stupid. No, that is not how it works in real life. When a law enforcement investigator they're looking at someone about grief. Oh yes, you got to clip.
I gotta stop that because I'm gonna screenshot my own self. I'm screenshotting myself. Don't worry, y'all.
When they looking at whether someone is genuinely grieving, they're not looking at whether or not you're sitting on a tarmac waiting for someone to walk with you after finding out you just lost your husband and the father of your two children. And you're trying to force someone to grieve in a certain way. You're trying to force the reaction you think they should have on them. Law enforcement doesn't do that because they know people are different. Everybody grieves differently. What they're determining is when you're telling your story, when you're saying what happened, are you actually being honest and truthful or are you lying? It would be one thing is if she said, I waited on the tarmac for an hour waiting for someone to walk with me because I just found out I lost my husband. I was at the hospital with my mother at a doctor's appointment. But it would be different if she said, well, I was at the tarmac and then I went inside the building. I had to go to the restroom and then there's no evidence to prove that. They would then look at that and say, why are you lying about where you were? What they will not look at is, well, you sat on the tarmac for an hour waiting for someone to escort you. That's not weird to them. They have to think about, okay, is she telling the truth? Because in this moment, if you're going to tell us where you were for that time frame, we just want to make sure that you're telling us the truth. There should be some evidence. There should be some witnesses to be able to pinpoint you sitting on the tarmac. That's what they're concerned about. The act of you standing there would not concern them because they understand that people grieve differently. People sometimes go into shock. Your body goes into a fight or flight response. And sometimes it does that to try to help absorb the trauma that you're experiencing. So for her to be in this shock mode and need an escort, it's not unusual. Some people pass out and faint. But if she would have lied and said, well, I wasn't on the tarmac, I actually went to the bathroom, but yet all the other witnesses.
Oh, sorry about it. Sorry. Sorry about that.
And then all the other evidence proves that she was on the tarmac the whole time. Then that would raise an eyebrow to say, okay, why would she lie to us about being in the bathroom when she was standing on the tarmac the whole time? That's all they're looking for. They're just wanting to see if you're telling the truth and be consistent. The act of actually just standing there waiting for someone to escort you, that is not something that law enforcement will care about. This idiot has not, I'm sorry, I should not be saying idiot. This clown has not even thought about how investigations work. What the police would actually look at that would be concerning to them versus what Candace is saying is concerning simply because she's got it out for Erica Kirk. It's pathetic.
Well, you already made a horrible assumption, Lady Luck. And I think because you made such a horrible assumption, I think you should dole out 10 memberships to the LLC. I'm going to do the same thing because you did something terrible. You did something horrible. And I'm going to explain what you did horrible and terrible as I dole out 10 memberships as well. I'm going to dole out 10
these
memberships
out. All right,
I'm going to drop 10 memberships because I think the people need that because you did something terrible. And let me go ahead and drop that out.
Shout out to all of you all. You must be
welcome to the party.
Subscribe to the Lady Luck Club to get the chance of having a membership.
Absolutely.
We got 10. So make sure you've hit that subscribe button and hit the like button and all drop some hearts in the chat and send some laughing emojis because I just went in.
You wild.
You can kick rocks, Candace. Kick rocks, girl. You can't make this stuff up.
You made a terrible mistake. You said that Cantifa hasn't thought about it. And I've already told you that they don't think. They've outsourced all of their critical thinking to Candace. So we don't worry about, they don't have enough bandwidth. They don't have enough minutes on their flip phones to do that thing called thinking. So they put it out to Candace. Candace, think for me. And then I will take whatever you think I should think. So yeah, that was it. So shout out.
Man.
So you can't make that assumption.
Let me clarify this. Since they don't think, they just kind of have this hive mentality where they just go on whatever she says. The idea that Candace, wants her to react the way that she feels she should be reacting is absolutely not of law enforcement's concern whatsoever. They don't care what Candace Owens says, thinks, or feels. They do not investigate based on some gossip columnist, bloggers, podcasts. They don't care. She can roam the earth into another oblivion and alternate reality. It will not bother them. They will not lose sleep sitting on a tarmac for an hour. Somehow now you're involved in your spouse's murder. What are you talking about?
He said she was okay with it because of that, which is crazy work.
She okay with? Oh my God.
She okay with it because she sat on the tarmac for an hour. She was okay with it. Okay.
It's an insult. Okay. It's such an insult, man.
Yeah. All right. And by the way, somebody's out of the garage. The police are not looking at Erica. You are.
They're controlled by the government, man. Like if you see the government when
then there's no hope at all. Then there's nothing that we can get justice at all. If every answer is controlled by the government, which is ultimately controlled by a sliver of land in the Middle East, then there's no argument we're having.
Like when there's almost billions of dollars at stake, these conspiracies don't come up. OpenAI, the guy who started OpenAI, probably killed one of his engineers who was a whistleblower. There's a conspiracy around that too. You don't think there's conspiracies when there's hundreds of millions of dollars at stake? That's not a crazy thing to think. It's not. And if you want to force that narrative, I just think half America is like, no. I think it easily.
I disagree with you. Well, I disagree with you wholeheartedly. No, I don't think that people are seeing it like that, and they're seeing you as not only being insensitive, but also like, dude. And by the way, you've never heard me say that one cannot critique.
But you're
TPUSA. I'm sorry. Okay, it's sitting in the car. It's warm. Critiquing is different. Critiquing is me saying Pete is sitting in a room with a blue and red mats behind him with a cement wall behind him. I don't know if I really like that wall. He probably should have painted it a different color. That's a critique.
It wasn't camera ready. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So here's where definitions of terms matter because you're breaking down the difference between a critique and an allegation. And this is why it's so difficult to have a debate with someone who won't read basic definitions of terms. Because he's sitting here trying to compute an allegation to a critique and blending them all in one. And it's not. That's the problem here. It's just a basic understanding, fundamental understanding of terms so that you can have an arguable point. It makes it very difficult. He's literally just copy and pasting everything that Candace says. He's not comprehending what the words mean. He's not thinking about the logic of it. Is it based upon the finding of fact, law, or evidence? He's just copy and paste.
But see, again, Lady Luck, you can't keep doing this. You can't keep doing this. You can't keep doing this.
Let me not say think.
Right, because they're not thinking. They're literally outsourced it all. It's kind of like manufacturing in the United States. I mean, a lot of manufacturing is not done in the United States. We're trying to get it back in. We're trying to make thinking great again, right? But we're trying to make manufacturing United States great again. These people are not thinking like that. That is a very great observation that you make. But please understand, these people are not able to handle that. And they don't think. And I am insulting Cantifa. My name is Jason, dearwokec@gmail.com. And you can email management. You can be the next one.
Okay.
You can be the next one. But the problem is that they're not willing. They're not even willing to think.
Nope.
They're not willing to sit there and noodle this out and kind of play around like, okay, wait, what does that mean? What does being on the tarmac mean? It doesn't mean anything.
Like, wow.
It's an observation.
And then you start to say that law enforcement, the police would consider, no, they don't. No, they don't. If you don't understand the definition of the word, critique, I highly doubt you understand how law enforcement conducts investigations, especially when they're thinking about a suspect and they're looking at the spouse as a suspect. No, you don't understand that. Like, all right. I'm sorry. I had to
all right, let's get back at it. Let's get back at it. Let's go. All right, let's get this dance rolling. No, bro, you okay? You all good with me, man? But that's a critique. Me saying that Peter is a bad person, he probably deleted his grandfather for an inheritance because he has a white baseball cap on and a gray hoodie. That's not a critique. That is making an indictment against people.
Acting suspicious when there's
such as, give me a suspicious that everybody else, that wow me with a suspicious.
All right, let me give you a completely different criminal case. The Menendez brothers, right? You know why the police were looking into them? Because there was financial motive. Oh, they killed their parents. They're grieving. How dare you?
You know why?
What is he talking about?
He's gonna bring in the Menendez brothers. Was that in California? Back in the he's gonna bring in the Menendez brothers. I don't remember, but he's gonna bring in the Menendez brothers and why the police looked at the Menendez brothers.
To look at them. No, the police were like, these guys aren't acting grieving at all. It's weird. It's not insane, logical conclusion to draw. If someone's acting weird and there's a financial motive at place, it doesn't mean we know Erica had involvement in it, but it's certainly not crazy to say. And for you to try to make me
but the police are not making the same assumption that you're making.
Well, for one, we don't exactly know what's going on in the investigation. But they
what do you not know? Oh, the Lord have mercy. See? Oh God. You don't know because you haven't even read the indictment.
That's a great point.
So
you didn't read the charging documents.
Information you don't know because you haven't even read the indictment. So of course you don't know. Like that's the one thing we agreed on. He doesn't know what's going on with the investigation, but he doesn't know because he's read nothing. And all they getting is some understanding. He's not even reading basic information. That's the problem. And then he's trying to sit here and tell us what the definition of grieving is, as if we're all supposed to grieve the same way. Does he not realize that this Menendez case has nothing to do with the assassination of Charlie Kirk? That was done in the public in front of thousands of people. The Menendez brothers became suspicious because of how they were spending money and the life insurance policies that they were able to cash in. So that's totally different. What is he talking about?
I don't think I'm 100% confident that he did not do any due diligence prior to this conversation of just like knowing, again, let me find out a little bit more about what it is that we're going to be discussing tonight or whatever of that nature. Or let me find this little topic and we'll stay right here in this little pocket. Because he's been all over the place. People call him Peter Cottontail bouncing down the bunny trail. He's all over the place. He's everywhere but nowhere. And I think the bigger problem is he is a great snapshot of Cantifa's thinking.
Yeah.
Like this is how they think. Yep. And I'll just throw this out. What about the tarmac? What about this and the other? And somebody said it like, that's crazy work to think that for you to say that Charlie Kirk was better. He was more valuable. Here you go, right? Believing Charlie Kirk was worth more dead is wild, Peter. Like that's crazy work. Like, exactly. Most of us here in the best live chat on the internet are able to say that this doesn't make any sense. There's no guarantee that they're going to make more money if all they cared about was money by deleting Charlie Kirk. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Again, and I've asked this question before. If the little sliver of land in the Middle East, the size of New Jersey, is involved in it, why is Candace Owens still running around? Wouldn't it have made more sense for them to put her or Tucker Carlson out of the picture than to take Charlie Kirk out of the picture?
Exactly.
Like nobody else, again, like it doesn't make sense. So maybe what you're saying it doesn't make sense because it's deflected.
Yep. And
And
he's
it's
trying
smooth
to
brain.
bring in this false equivalency of a separate case that has nothing to do with this. I mean, the way the parents were taken out in that matter with the Menendez is not even the same as how it happened with Charlie Kirk. I don't even see any similarities between the two cases. So why bring that one up?
I have no idea.
Oh,
All right, let's
God.
finish this up. Let's finish this.
Okay.
And they found their guy and were very, just locked in on that one guy. They didn't question anybody else, man. They clearly didn't do a full investigation.
But so, okay, I got you. So give me the wow of this case.
Not saying she did it.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what you are saying. If you're not saying she did it, and you keep saying you're not saying she did it, but then you proceeded to
come up with a story of what happened. I can't do that. I'm an outsider. I can judge someone's behavior and say that's suspicious and weird. I'm allowed to do that. I'm a human being. I can recognize the way humans act. And half of America, I text my friends, even that barely know about this, and you obviously see the kind of views Candace is getting. They're like, the way she's acting is super sus. It doesn't mean she did it. Maybe
the way Candace is acting, or the way Eric is acting.
The way Erica and TPUS.
So can we do the same thing with Candace and say Candace is acting suspect?
Sure.
Because Candace, now we do know that Candace had an economic motive for Charlie Kirk to get out of that contract.
Yep.
Wait, say again.
Candace had an economic motive to get out of that contract.
Oh, now he can't hear.
I think if she cared about that contract, she wouldn't have spoken up at all, because that's clearly going to cost her money.
But she had a motive. She wanted to see him delete it.
It
to get out of the contract. How do you? But you just said they had to have an economic motive. Are you saying there had to be a value to the economic motive? I just told you one. Tell me why my motive is wrong.
Well, if you want to think that, that's fine. I think.
No, I want you to tell me. I want to be right, Pete. I want you to tell me that I'm wrong.
What happened to Charlie Kirk? But
I'm sorry.
No, I don't know what happened to Charlie Kirk.
He got shot by Tyler Robinson.
He got shot in front of 3,000 people on national television. What did he miss?
We know what happened to Charlie Kirk.
Boy in.
We know what happened to Charlie Kirk. The only reason you don't know what happened to Charlie Kirk is because you're a smooth brain Cantifa member. That's it. Get out of Cantifa and you'll know exactly what happened to Charlie Kirk.
Dear Lord, did he just say that? We don't know what happened to him, as if he hasn't seen a video of what happened to him. If you're going to go into an alternate reality, take your body with you. I say this to Candace all the time. If you're going to leave this earth and go to some alternate reality, if your mind is gone, because she's lost her mind a long time ago, you're going to lose your mind and go to an alternate reality, take your body with you. Just do us the favor, take your body with you and your cult members. We can't take
Please.
This is crazy.
That's my point.
Tyler Robinson did.
Well, we don't know that it was just a single person.
Tyler Robinson, the guy at Walmart and the guy at Quick Trip that sold him his gas.
Okay.
Those guys are in on it too, but Tyler Robinson did it.
If you want to say that,
I'm saying that Candace Owens paid Tyler Robinson to do it.
They acted. I mean, just
Candace Owens paid Tyler Robinson to do it. Prove me wrong.
They had a lot of conflicting stories, man, about what happened when they were there that day. I mean, first they were like talking about, Mikey McCoy called Erica when he was with Blake, but then like you could see from the camera that he had walked clear far away, so far he couldn't even see the car Charlie was loaded up in. That's very suspicious behavior.
You're wrong.
I'm not saying
you know what else is suspicious?
Sure.
You know what else is suspicious, Peter? That you have not told me how.
How much?
Candace Owens paid Tyler Robinson to have Charlie Kirk killed. That's what I'm saying. You keep saying things are weird. I'm going to say this is weird.
Okay.
Prove me wrong.
I can't
prove me wrong.
Then, sir, then your points are pointless. I can't prove what you're saying either.
No, you don't.
And you can't prove just because you say Mikey not saying something or Mikey not doing something is weird. You can't get away with that.
Had a motive to kill Charlie. You're just saying that.
Candace had a motive to kill Charlie. She thought that she and her husband were going to get the position of CEO. She thought that she and her husband were going to get the position of CEO at Turning Point USA. She wanted to have Tyler Robinson kill him so that could happen. That's my point.
Yep.
That's it.
There you go.
That's the reality. Now prove me wrong.
Okay, but here's the difference. Candace didn't do a bunch of weird things that I just described. Eric and TPS.
I can name 45 weird things that Candace has done since Charlie Kirk's body hit the ground. And I think this is adorable. But I thought about it.
I'm so proud of you. How you
thought about it more.
Here. I love it.
I'm eating today. I'm here to eat. I thought about it after the fact. You do realize that Candace's husband became a U.S. citizen. Do you know when her husband became a U.S. citizen?
When they got married?
Nope.
When?
April 2025.
What? Wait! Oh Lord, we could have deported him.
we could have deported. You stupid. But he just became a U.S. citizen just this past year.
You and George,
so,
y'all getting deported.
Boy, how interesting is that? How serendipitous is that? What? That in April he became a U.S. citizen. In September, Charlie Kirk passed away, and they thought, is it a reach that they thought they
I
were
don't
going to
know. I
become
said the
take
same
over?
thing. I said the same thing. I think
So
Candace has something to do with it. She has not given us an alibi. We have no idea what George Farmer was on September 10th when Charlie
there we
Kirk was
go.
assassinated,
Or
and he could have
8th or
easily
ninth or
blended in.
yeah,
Yep. The 7th,
anything.
the 11th, we
Any
have no
right.
idea where he
He could have been
was.
at Fort Hawk too. We don't know what he be getting down
Yeah,
with.
exactly. Who
Pun
knows? I
intended.
mean, he's in this bowling done club. He knows how to use a weapon. He knows how to
You
fire
know he
off.
likes to shoot because that's what George
He likes to shoot.
John Mappin be doing.
Yeah.
We know he be
So
shooting.
there you go. He understands bullets and various grains of bullets and these
Mhm.
rifle guns. I mean, hey,
Prove me wrong.
we have no idea. Prove us wrong. Candace Owens and George Farmer had something to do with Charlie Kirk's assassination. Prove us wrong. Candace, give us an
Yeah.
alibi.
Right.
We
Because
want them all.
we got enough weird stuff. She didn't tell us,
Yeah.
weird stuff. She didn't tell us that she was under contract. That's weird.
That's
very
weird.
suspect that she keeps
Very
getting these emails in her quote unquote email box for people
Yep.
that we don't know who they are. We haven't seen the
Exactly.
metadata. That's weird.
Weird.
That's
Miss
suspicious.
Snow is weird.
That's
Her
suspect.
concocting that nonsense with Miss Snow, and then all of a
And
sudden raising money for him is weird. No one does that. I
we do
mean,
the exact same thing.
let's go.
And
I'm
there
ready.
you go. I don't think people thought about it like that. Let's go.
Okay.
Made it look like she murdered that.
Bees. She got Mormon bees. She's got the Maroon cult. She's got the Egyptian planes, Fort Hakatua. She's got the underground Ninja Turtles. Remember them? Remember the guy talking to the bush? Remember that? All that stuff. So no, every last one of them. The glass in the SUV. Fill in the blank. Come on. She is just as involved in as possible. There you
Yep.
go. You got to prove me wrong. Say otherwise.
wrong.
Prove me wrong.
One that planned this event. I'm saying that TPUSA, and all of them, they planned this event. They planned it in a way that was very fishy. I mean, there's so many fishy things about the way this.
What is your standard for fishy, though? I'm gonna play with that one for a second. What is the
Define
standard
the
that you're
word
using to
fishy.
determine that how they planned the event was fishy?
Well,
And this is again, this has been proven
Definitions
demonstrably
of terms.
false. This has been proven false. What he's about to say, and again,
Mhm.
all he had to do is just do a little bit of research.
Yep.
All you had to do is just do.
That's
I
it.
mean,
Yep.
and to be fair, if you're a Cantifa member, write down all of your major points and just go through and make sure you have evidence for each one of those major points. If you don't have evidence for it, don't bring it up.
Let me
Only
add on to this. Define terms, okay? When you
absolutely.
say fishy, suspicious, and weird, please know the definition of that word, because I will be more than happy than to butcher you on definitions of terms. I will pull that up in the middle of a live stream. Will I not, Alexis? The LSC knows I will pull up information in the middle of a live stream while you're making a point and pull up the definition of the word and demolish you on the definition alone. You can't make this up. They literally are trying to say what they see as suspicious and weird should be the definition based on how everyone else should see it. That's not how that works.
No.
When you
not even a
can't
little
tell
bit.
me that you've read basic information from an indictment and you can't give me the definition of the word fact or evidence, you cannot tell me what I should see as suspicious or weird. That's a matter of perception. But since they don't know the definition of the word, they just sit here and expect everyone to believe whatever they think. That's not how that works.
Not
Nope.
even a little bit. When you've heard from the planning person,
Yeah.
you heard from security, you've heard from the school, and you saw evidence that they were planning this. It wasn't planned 2 weeks ahead of time. It had been planned earlier, almost 2 months.
Well, why
So
didn't
what is the
that
thing that
event
you're using to determine it's
plan
fishing?
I heard they didn't have any events planned after that. Is that
See, that's the problem. But no, that's funny because they had an event planned the next day. See, that's what I'm saying. No, they had an event planned the next day. That's where Candace was getting all up in her feelings saying, well, they didn't have a security plan for the next day.
Okay, well, we'd have to
It-
fact check that because
Okay, then I would suggest, before you say that I'm wrong and say that I'm just obsessed and I'm a Zionist and such like that, it may be beneficial to just check some of the resources. Because I've now mentioned 5 different things, Peter, that you just said you didn't know about.
Anything
And
verified.
before you come on and say something to me and say, oh, well, you're just a Zionist shield and blah, blah, blah.
I brought up a
Maybe it might be possible. It may be beneficial
Mhm.
to look into this information independently.
Man,
on your
brought
own.
up a ton of fishy things they did that you haven't given any answer for.
Which-
Okay, for example, again, I don't think it's normal.
Give him like 3 or 4
I don't think it's normal all the way.
But why is it
You told
as
him
if
3 or 4
a fishy
things right
thing is
there.
going to
He
change?
doesn't- Oh, my
That's what I'm
God.
saying. Like this, going back to my example I gave about Steph Curry.
Oh,
Going back to the example I gave about Steph Curry.
Okay.
And I say Steph Curry standing at the 3-point line, you guarantee for that to go in. Because why? Because it's Steph Curry. This dude would say, well, no, it's because the hot dog vendor up on the 4th level, C8, because the hot dog vendor was holding up 2 hot dogs at the time. That's what caused the ball to go into the rim. That's why Steph Curry got it, because the hot dog vendor was up there raising his hands with 2 hot dogs in his hands. What are you talking about?
Right. Exactly. It's
What
a
are you talking about?
distraction from the actual point you're making that is debunking what he's saying. He's just throwing out filler and distractions that's irrelevant. That's and that's the hardest type of person to debate with, is one that's already brainwashed and fooled to believe what they want to believe.
Well,
It's almost like nothing you say will change their mind on it. They're not going to be convinced of anything. They're not going to read anything. They're not going to look up definitions of terms, because they're already embedded and stuck on what they want to believe, what they see as reality for them. And that's what's so crazy about this. He's a prime example of that.
Okay, so I'm going to actually say that no, I don't think I could change Peter's mind. I believe Peter will change Peter's mind. That's why I wanted him to be able to talk. And I tried my best not to even interrupt him. And it's like, he was saying some deflected stuff. But I'm going to let you keep being deflected. I'm going to let you go and tease that all the way out. And when it pops up later on, because he's been in the comment, he was in the comment on that video. So when it pops up later on and you look at it later, or a friend of yours looks at it and say, hey man, did you know that you sound retarded? Like, I want Peter to get convicted by that. And maybe he won't. Maybe he'll just stay blind and a Cantifa member. He'll become a general in the Cantifa army. But, or maybe he'll say, you know what? Yeah, I really didn't know what I was talking about. I was just rambling. I was just yapping. My bad. He don't got to come back to me. He ain't got to come back to me and apologize or anything of that nature. But I just want to, maybe one day he'll say, yeah, man, I don't know what I was talking about, man. I was just getting cooked over here. And I let you cook me, Jay Witt. I apologize. I was out of pocket. But again, I want him to, that's why I wanted him to talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Himself into a trick bag.
And let him dig that hole. Yeah, let him dig that hole for himself. Because he certainly, the idea that he just didn't even read basic information to make an arguable point, it already kind of people are going to look at it as, okay, if you couldn't even read the indictment and read the letter, it's a 7-page letter that Charlie Kirk wrote to Benjamin Netanyahu, then all the other things everything you said was just based on your opinion. Either that or you just copy and paste from Candace Owens. You're not basing anything you said on logic or the facts at hand that anyone can read and look at. Anyone can just pull up the indictment and read it. It's available to the public. Anyone can read the letter. It's available to the public. But if you choose to not read it, if you choose to be ignorant of the facts and the actual information that is available for anyone to read, then at the end of the day, you're wanting to perpetuate this clown show, or just expect people to not take you seriously. Everything you're saying is copy pasting, is based on your opinion. We don't have to take anything you say to be factually based, because you're not giving any facts. You haven't read it. You're not familiar with it. Definitions of terms go over your head. He doesn't understand a euphemism or a point of phrase or Harry Henderson. Like we can't take you seriously in it.
You can't.
So,
all right, let's take this seriously. Let's get it. Let's go. Wrong though.
Go.
I didn't say it was wrong. I said it's
what's wrong with, because she sat on the tarmac, what does that mean?
It means that any normal person would have gone, that was actually concerned about their husband, would have gone and seen him immediately. Would not have waited for a friend to show up or something like that.
So okay, so she's abnormal person.
Yeah, it could
so
be
she's an abnormal person. But I've never had a loved one assassinated for the whole world to see. So maybe it's possible that she might not behave as you said she was. You said it wasn't normal. You said normal people would, and all I'm saying is, okay, fine, she's abnormal. What does that mean though?
I don't know yet.
So what is it? What is it supposed to mean? Well, let me ask a question. When you say I don't know yet, what is the
acting weird? Yes, the implication is perhaps they were involved. I don't know that.
Okay, stop there. What will be because you say I don't know yet. So what is the yet that will satisfy you and say, you know what, Jason was right. It's okay that she sat on the tarmac. What is it?
We'll probably never know the truth.
Then wait. But why does that have to be something that's not true though?
What do you mean?
Just because she sat on the tarmac, what does it matter?
It's not normal behavior.
Based on whose standard?
The human standard.
No, I guarantee you
human
in the best live chat right now, there is no human standard though, my guy.
Oh goodness! First of all,
Like,
Candace
there's no-
Owens is not a human. She's an alien. She's already said it.
She said that. She said that. She did say she was an
she's
alien.
an alien, and we're
She
going
did.
with that. So Candace is an alien. She doesn't have human standards. So what are we talking about?
Right. So you running after Vulcan, my dude. Stop running
Xenu or whatever.
after Romulans, my guy. Stop it. Y'all know I want to rant about Star Trek Academy anyway. Don't get me started. Don't threaten me with a good time. Don't you dare.
The Star Trek Academy right here.
Right, there we go. But insert Star Trek Academy rant in 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Right. I'm not gonna do that. To you. Right, but like,
based on human standards. What
are you talking about?
What do you mean? You're devoid of human emotions. So let's go based on the definition of the word. Since you have no basis, he said, I don't know yet. And then when you ask him a question, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm asking you questions based on the point you think you're making to me. Are you not keeping up and hearing what you're saying? Is it
He's not hearing the words that come out of his own
copy and
mouth.
paste? You're not hearing anything coming out of your mouth. You're just copying and pasting and regurgitating. This right here is the epitome of that hive mentality. That's how cult members think. And then when you try to question them on it, they distract, deter, and deflect. And then all of a sudden, they don't even know what they're talking about. So that's why they're asking you, what do you mean? What you say? Repeat the question. I didn't hear that. I don't understand. It's a repetitious cycle here. That's the hive mentality at play.
And let me just throw this in here real quick. I do appreciate this comment. I guess one size fits all now. But no. It's got to be Candace's one size. Because if I say it is appropriate, then that doesn't fit Candace's narrative. So it's got to be Candace's size fits all, which I don't think that's fair to anybody. Let's finish this up.
Yeah.
We'll find a ton of people that would probably respond differently.
But if we were in Candace's chat, they would, agree.
I don't give a dang. That's the reason I don't go to Candace's chat. They're crazy retards.
People in your
I don't deal with them.
That's what I'm saying. But can you explain? Is Mikey McCoy just an abnormal human too, for just walking calmly away?
Oh gosh.
After
Oh
his best
gosh.
friend was-
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, this is awesome.
Did I say that?
Yes, you did, and I love it.
Hold on. Let me give myself a flag on the play.
Can you
Hold on.
go rewind a
No, we're not rewinding that.
Flag on each and every one of y'all.
Oh my gosh. Hold on, let me see. No, man, we got a lot to go still.
I'll give you a standing ovation. Just
I didn't know I
rewind a
did
little
that.
part. Just a little part right there. Go back. Just a
Okay.
little bit.
Hold on,
Just a little bit.
What in the world? That's crazy work. Out on the tarmac, what does that matter?
It's not normal behavior.
Based on whose standard?
The human standard.
No, I guarantee you in the best live chat right now, we'll find a ton of people that would probably respond differently.
But if we were in Candace's chat, they would, agree.
I don't give a dang. That's the reason I don't go to Candace's chat. They're crazy retards.
People in your
I don't deal with them.
That's all I'm saying. But can you explain? Is Mikey McCoy just an abnormal human too, for just walking calmly away after his best friend was shot in the neck? He wasn't dodging.
What did he say? When he talked about what he did, what did he say he did?
He said he pulled out his phone and talked.
No, he already has phones. Okay, fine. And what did he do? What did he do though?
He walked calmly away, and you can see it.
What? No. What was he doing with his phone though?
He said he was talking to his dad, but we don't know. He didn't.
No, but the funny thing. Wait, Peter. This is the crazy
But
work.
it's in
This
video,
is crazy.
though. It's so funny how it's in video. He refuses to just recall
but
what's in video.
wait. And I'm about to explain to him again. Peter didn't do any work. He did no pre-work. If you're gonna get into the best live chat, wherever I'm at, it's the best live chat. If you're gonna get in the best live chat and call the host names and be disrespectful to him or her, and I get zeroed in on you, do your homework first.
Okay.
Don't.
And
If
I'm
I
queen
say
of the queen YouTube, so you know you got it coming from me. I'm queen of YouTube.
all right, like do your homework, because in a moment I'm about to tell him he didn't do his homework yet again. This is the third, fourth, maybe fifth time he's not done any homework. Watch this. Yeah, respectfully, maybe we need to move to a different topic. Your girl has said that Mike McCoy was on the phone. She agreed to that.
Yeah, sure. He's
So
on
wait, hold on, wait. You just said you didn't know, but now you do know. No. Be quiet, man. Be quiet. No. Wait. Then, sir, she confirmed that he was on the phone.
Yeah, I agree.
Something. Why are you actually bringing it up like it's something weird? You just did that.
Walk calmly away.
But he was on the phone. He did what he said he was doing.
No, but what he didn't say is then Blake Neff says that he was like around the car when they were loading Charlie up, that he was like a hero, like a general.
Wow. So because they said the story, Blake Neff is telling the story. I wanted to, and I thought about it after the
Oh
fact.
my God, this is so good.
This is so ridiculous, man. I'm like, what are
You
we
handling him
experiencing
like a
here?
champion. Oh my
What are we
God.
dealing with right here, man? What are we
You're like,
doing
no,
right here?
no. So he's saying, oh, because he walked calmly away, but Candace said he was on the phone. So what's weird about that? If you're following your cult leader and she says he walked calmly away, and she did not call that weird, why are you calling it weird?
Because that's
He
all they
walked
can
calmly
do.
away. That's it.
Because
It's
he
just that
outsources
simple.
critical thinking. He
Gotcha.
outsources critical thinking, and he's not able to put together a cogent argument on the fly and ask better questions.
Peter,
That's it.
you
He just
next
he
time you
can't.
need to put down that phone and pick up a book and go read, Peter. It
Yeah,
would be
go
wise
read
for
a
you to
book.
read a book. Go to your room and read a book.
So because he told the story differently, Blake Neff wasn't there. So because he told the story,
Wasn't
that
Blake
means it's a
there?
lie?
Wasn't Blake there?
Was he? I don't believe Blake Neff was
Yeah,
there.
because he said he was there and he saw Mikey McCoy turn into like a hero. Dude, the whole
Okay,
video
fine.
pulled up
So what does
photos
that
of-
mean?
It means somebody wasn't telling the truth about what happened.
Whoa, see, that's where I'm going again. You're now saying that the person is not telling the truth.
Mhm.
If I ask you a question after the traumatic event that you saw, and you don't give me every last detail the same, when I ask you on the day of, 7 days later, and then 7 months later, nobody would say that you're lying, though.
It's not like
You literally said lying.
Like, which hand did I hold the phone with? These are really big details. When Blake says,
Such as what? What is the big detail? I want to know, what is the big detail? I have my phone to my ear. What is the big detail? What is the big detail that's going to change the Charlie Kirk narrative?
is that Blake Neff said that Mikey McCoy was acting like a hero, orchestrating everything while they were loading Charlie into Suburban.
Okay.
And then you
What
can
is
see
acting
Mikey
like a
McCoy is
hero
not even
mean?
around the scene, and so it's just like, why are they just weird to
But-
say like that?
Okay.
You know, I mean, you really don't.
No, I don't, because I don't see that as being. Maybe you're majoring in the minors, but that doesn't. Who? Okay, I would say that.
His neck exploded.
Okay, so
Yo,
I'm just gonna. I gotta get it. I get it.
go ahead and get it in, man. Just
All right.
get it in.
It boggles my mind now watching this back, like,
Oh
because
my God.
if you all, and again, I've said this before when we've analyzed Candace puts out a truckload of information.
Yeah.
Have y'all noticed how much information this guy's thrown out there?
Yeah.
He's a Cantifa devotee of the highest order. He's just literally throwing out information, whether it makes sense or not. You know, Blake Neff doesn't pay his credit card bill on time. Andrew Kovic doesn't inflate his tires properly. You know, just throwing out stuff that doesn't even matter. Who cares? None of that changes anything. And I should have said now in retrospect, maybe I'll edit this video, editor Jason or Jason from the future.
Leave it be.
How does Mike McCoy having his phone to his ear, walking away quietly or whatnot, change the fact that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk?
And that's the thing. It doesn't.
None of that changes it.
It doesn't
that should be
change it at all.
That should be the mantra now. Like, okay, fine. Erica Kirk sat on the tarmac. How does that change that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk? That should just be our mantra now. Okay, but how does that change that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk? That should be the question we ask every time now. Moving forward, that's going to be the question we ask. How does that change that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk? Because what in that question, they're now going to have to tell you who they think actually did it. I got you this whole cabal thing and the all that foolishness y'all talking. Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. How does that change that?
Yeah, exactly. What's the evidence to point to anyone else pulling the trigger? That's it. I say this all the time in when I'm doing commentary. Candace, either you're gonna tell us who you think pulled the trigger on the gun, or Tyler Robinson did it. And now you're gonna have to explain to your audience at some point why all this nonsense you've been doing was in vain, was for absolutely nothing, because the shooter, the killer, is still in jail. He's in jail, and you can't give us a name of the other shooter. Just tell us who it is.
And yes, I mean, here we go. Again, I wanted to do this because I wanted to kind of encourage the audience, the best live channel on the internet, how to deal with Cantifa. Because I do think we need to be a little bit more involved with Cantifa. Here you go right here. Just ask her, then who did it? Not the cabal, not the cabal of all this nebulous, faceless whatevers. Who actually pulled the trigger? Because at the current moment, the person that's pulled the trigger is the one that's on trial. And I feel very comfortable as Tyler Robinson. I don't care about the who assisted. That's not the question I ask. The question I ask is, because I need you to listen, because I know your brain is smooth, and sometimes y'all don't hear. Who pulled the trigger? Tyler Robinson.
Yeah.
Then that's all we're worrying about. All this other stuff, all that other stuff that y'all doing, y'all go ahead and do that stuff and knock yourself out. Go play Dungeons and Dragons and do all that
Yep.
kind of stuff. But in the meantime, in the between time, who pulled the trigger? There we go.
Tyler
So as long as we
Robinson.
know that who pulled the trigger, there we go. So
Yep. That's all I say over there in LLC. Candace, who pulled the trigger on the gun? Who pulled the trigger on the gun? She still won't say. Okay, so she doesn't know. She knows, but she wants to sit here and throw all this fluff out here. We don't care about the fluff. Law enforcement doesn't care. The judge doesn't care. The jury doesn't care about Candace's fluff. We don't care. Who pulled the trigger on the gun? Give us a name and show us a photo so we can go lock up the bad guy. Until then, we don't care.
There you go. All right, let's keep this dance going. Let's go.
And you walk away calmly. What does that tell you? I mean,
what does it tell me? Tell me what it tells me. Tell me how what I'm supposed to translate from that.
Yeah. I mean, I think normal humans would just agree that's suspicious. Doesn't mean
such as what though? Tell me what it means. Don't be very direct. Be very direct. I'm obtuse, man.
Don't pretend to be obtuse. Obviously it means that perhaps he knew this was going to happen.
So, how do you? Okay, so you're saying that Mike McCoy knew that was going to happen?
It seems like that based off.
No, are you saying that yes or no?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
Then what are you trying to get from it, though? I don't understand that.
If I say something seems like something, but I don't know without certainty or with certainty, you can't pin me to want to say I have to know with certainty. I don't.
Why would you even bring it? If that following that logic, then Pete, we can throw out 100,000 what if scenarios. You're literally bringing it up because we can watch the film and we can say, why did this person move? Remember the whole thing with hand signals they were doing? Remember that was a whole thing about them making hand signals?
That probably was nothing.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, why even go there?
If we're going to see suspicious things, some of those things might be non-issues. Some of them might be issues.
But
we're allowed to look at those things and judge those things
have
independently.
evidence.
And we don't have to have a conclusion. You're making it seem like I have to have a conclusion here.
No, I'm saying even asking the question is kind of silly. That's the point that I'm making. Why just saying, oh, the guy walked away? That's suspicious. That's weird. That's strange. You have used all of those words. All I'm saying is, for what? Like, what is the purpose of saying that? Otherwise, you're only muddying up the water more. You're only bringing up. And by the way, you still have not brought.
And he was acting weird when his friend died. To me,
okay, you said that, and
he was involved.
And let me real quick. I got to hold on, man. That doesn't make sense. Your best friend is getting executed, and you're making the insinuation that he was in on it. That's just cruel and unusual. There's no reason to do that. That's what I'm saying. There's no reason to go in here and add to this. Oh, he must have been in on it because he walked away. Because he said that Blake Neff said that he was there leading people, being courageous and heroic. Okay, fine. That don't mean that he did anything. That's the part, the logic jump. We can say, hey, they told the story differently. I agree with that. They told the story a little bit differently. That doesn't mean that they did something in the story. I'm sorry, that they were a part of the story more than where they were. That doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry, man. I don't see where you're getting that from.
Law enforcement will not see it any differently.
You were. I did. I muted you.
Well done. You know what's so crazy is that this is not the first time you had to mute him. He just kept talking. This is how the code of Candace. They think this is how debate goes. It's not. You don't over talk and get louder and ramble on and on and on and think that you're debating. No, when you don't understand simple definitions of terms and you've proven that you have not fundamentally passed the 9th grade regarding your reading and comprehension skills, you are not debating. This isn't a debate. He's just over talking and he had to put him on mute at least 3 times. You had to mute him at least 3 times. And it's just ridiculous. That's not a debate.
No,
at some point, he needed to just stop talking and let you get out a point or answer a question. Another thing that he did to divert and deflect, he never answered your direct questions, such as, what is the definition of the word weird? Like, it's just a human thing. What do you mean? No, give me the definition of the word weird. Because that's what we're operating on, because you keep using that word. So if you don't understand what it means, don't use it.
Absolutely. And just because you say it doesn't mean that it is actually a reality. Because I could say that again. So again, you need to define that. But I did let the definition thing slide because I didn't think that he was really able to define a lot of the terms that he was going to use. Like, I didn't ask him what a Zionist was. I didn't ask him to define what weird or sus, because I feel like those are just throwaway words that people use. and they don't really
Yeah.
mean anything. In my opinion, they don't really mean anything to say something is weird or you're acting awkward. Maybe awkward maybe that has a little bit more, but weird in 2026, it doesn't mean anything. It's a throwaway word. It's just wasting, the free air that God gave you and your free will. All right, so let's keep this dance going.
Yep.
All right. Well, can I ask you, like, genuinely, you really think if the police find someone murdered and they start asking questions about the roommate's acting weird or the spouse is acting weird, they don't know what happened yet? Do you think that's insensitive or just a normal means of investigating things? That's all I'm doing.
No, all I'm saying is just because somebody said, oh, he walked away, then that's weird. Therefore, he's a part of it. That's the logic. We can say that, hey, it's weird that he walked away, but hey, we see that we already know, even from your own source, Candace, that he was on the phone. So even from there, we know that he was on the phone. So we can go ahead and put that one to bed. We don't have to make any more hay out of it.
Sensitive to say.
Well, it's your friend.
Close friends.
It's your friend. You were not involved in it.
Not a weird, hypothesis.
Okay, then that's fine. If you're okay with anything happening in your circle, Peter, people immediately coming to you and pointing at you because you didn't do something that they felt was on par. Hold on a second, bro. If you did something that they felt was off brand and they want to point their finger at you and you're okay with that, you rock on like Donkey Kong. I don't believe that that's appropriate. I think that's inappropriate.
Police do all the time, man.
No, but they don't. No, you're the one is police.
No,
y'all do. Well,
y'all do that all the time. The conspiracy theorists that can't define simple words do that all the time because the idea of them gathering facts and evidence is a foreign concept. They don't do that. They just theorize based on what they think and how they feel about something, because words.
Yeah.
But they're not basing it on concrete evidence. They're not basing it on documentation. They're not even basing it on logic. What is the logic in saying it's okay to just go and accuse someone because they walked away calmly of being involved in an entire murder? Yet, when it comes down to, okay, give me the definition of the word weird, I can't do that. You're expecting me to finalize something.
It's a human experience.
You to support. Yeah, I'm expecting you to actually provide some sort of documentation as to why you think this person is now involved in an entire murder, the loss of someone's life, because they walked away calmly. That's not how the police operate. If that be the case, do you know how many more people would be in prison for a lifetime? Do you know how many more people would be locked up over a suspicion for murder? We're talking about murder, where they're seeking the death penalty of Tyler Robinson.
Yeah.
And you're saying, oh, someone walked away calmly. That's suspicious to me. But how does that mean that they're involved? If the police conducted investigations that way, all of these people that Candace brought up would be in jail right now.
Facts.
Having their right stripped from them. Make that make sense.
And let's also, because I want to keep this going, but keep in mind, they actually interviewed those persons there. The police did. So they didn't need a YouTube sleuth or busybody central to be involved in it. They did that. They did that work. And they did not say that these people were involved in it. If they got vibe that, he walked away and this, that, and the other, and they put 4 and 9 together and came up with a conclusion, then guess what? They would probably be under suspicion.
Yeah, and
but none of this is not working for you.
Evidence has to lead them towards that suspicion as well. They have to have even circumstantial evidence is based on a set of facts. You don't even have that here. They have to have some level of evidence to even lead towards that. So if they're not looking at them at this point and they've already interrogated them and asked them questions, is because right now they don't have any evidence to support any suspicion that they're involved. You need evidence. And that's something that these people don't get. They're operating in some alternate reality. It's ridiculous.
Feelings and vibes is not evidence, by the way.
Not at all.
Dreams don't count. I know that's going to ruin your day, but dreams don't count. So there's actually an authority figure that's going to be making some kind of, but nor are we, neither of us are police.
Humans, the population is like, now we're going to start asking questions because we don't.
But we're not doing anything though. Our question asking doesn't do anything. I know that they don't do anything.
We don't have the information. We don't have subpoenas, but we can ask questions.
But they don't go anywhere. They're only me pointing fingers, me saying to Pete, where were you on September 10th?
Okay, that's fine. There's nothing insensitive about asking that.
Because you're not anybody's friend. Nobody.
If it did happen, I would have no problem. You know, if somebody said, "Hey, man,
No, but
He probably wasn't even
but then you say,
there.
okay, fine, I did something weird, but now we are here theorizing that you were a part of the deletion of your friend because you had a baseball cap on.
Hide. It wouldn't bother me at all.
Okay, then rock on. I would have a problem with that. I think it's wrong for me to do it and for you to do it to somebody.
Putting a lot of time into, you know, looking at everyone around my friend and making sure they weren't, you know, being tunnel vision, and they were actually doing a proper, thorough investigation.
So the
That
only
is being
evidence that we
tunnel
have
vision.
that Mike McCoy would have been involved in it is him walking away. Nothing else. So, but we have everything else. I'm sorry. Did you say something?
I would say he is being extraordinarily tunnel vision because he's only looking at people with TPUSA. And it
Right.
turns out the man that pulled the trigger on the gun
Yeah.
did not work for TPUSA. Go figure. You know what evidence can do. Look at God. You know, evidence. It's a word that people should define. You can't make this up. All right, go ahead. I have to get that up.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. Let me play it real quick. 1 second.
Good job.
Sorry.
Can I ask you one question? And I know you're probably getting tired of me. Does it like truly? Because I feel, you know,
Are we seeking a question? I'm gonna ask you a question first.
Sure.
Is this a question that we're trying to answer, or is this a whataboutism? Again, dead squirrel on the highway.
No, I'm curious about the way like your mind works. Like, have you been a fan of TPUSA? Because it seems to me like you automatically defend them, and I'm just curious.
Oh, great question.
Has anything about the way they've conducted things not seemed weird to you? Because that seems crazy to me.
No, that's a great question. Okay. Before Charlie Kirk was deleted, you'll never see a video of me talking about TPUSA or Charlie Kirk. But so no, I wasn't. I was aware of them. I knew what they were doing, but I wasn't like a dialed-in fan or whatnot. I apologize.
You supported what they were doing, I'm going to assume, as a conservative?
Yeah, I mean, like in a tacit, like, yeah, go ahead, do it. I wasn't a donor or anything, supported, but I'm like, I rock with them. That's cool. Here it is.
So what makes you suddenly jump to their defense? Like, so
because I watched Candace just outright lie.
But they've lied too. So let's say both sides.
Well, you've already regaled me with all of the TPUSA lies. I've given you 5 already about Candace, and you've not answered those. So can you please? So here we go. Explain to me how Candace got the information about the alleged assassination on her life from the French Legion. Where's no evidence of that, and she lied and said that she gave the information to the FBI, to the counterterrorism, later to only come back and say, well, I really didn't give it to him. I texted to somebody at the FBI. Is that not a lie?
Okay, I don't know enough about that issue, but
you don't know nothing about that issue. Man, it's so convenient how he knows nothing when he needs to. Peter, go to your room and read a book. Don't do these debates no more, Peter. You need to read. And all they're getting is some understanding. Go read, bro. Read.
And just again, like these are very straight and direct problems that are there that are glaring holes in her narrative, and nobody seems to be worried about it. But you just didn't know about it, man. Come on. I mean, they were reporting on that on the news.
Oh my God. How did they?
I mean, on mainstream news was reporting. Mainstream media was reporting on that. So you can't honestly tell me that you didn't know anything about it. But okay, let's go.
Yeah, he lied.
Even if it was a lie, does that have anything? Does that indicate that she was involved in his murder?
It doesn't. Nope. It's weird. According to your standard, Pete, it's weird. No, it's weird.
It's weird.
But let me go back. Let me go back and answer your question because I derailed my own answer because I'm going to answer your question about why I'm here poking fun at this, and I'll just explain. 1, I watched Candace lie, but 2, I watched Candace lie in the name of being a Christian.
Sure.
And therein is the rub. We are not allowed to do the things that Candace does.
So,
we're not supposed to take the word. I'll finish. We're not supposed to take the word of only one witness. We're supposed to seek 1 or 2 witnesses. Candace is the only witness for the lion's share of the things that she said. The lion's share of them, we don't have anybody else to corroborate those things. We have nobody whatsoever. So therefore, I'll wait. Thank you so much. So it's all good, bro. But let me finish. I understand.
Sorry, harping not jumping.
Then hold tight.
All right.
So I'm watching her lie and profess to be a Christian. There's a problem there. If I were doing that, I would expect my colleagues, those persons that know me and people that don't, to say Jason is out of pocket and he's wrong. And so therefore, and now on a regular basis, I'm watching her lie. As much as she says that other people lie, please understand she's doing it just as much. I really truly believe that she's just projecting her own things onto other people. From saying I'm challenging that the lion's share of what she says is her own projection out on other people. From lying, saying that she couldn't move and she couldn't talk to anybody, only to find out that she did an interview with CNN. That sit down with the lady at her house. She said that she couldn't move. She was in the bed. She couldn't even think straight, but she actually had an interview.
Okay, maybe so.
I'm gonna come back.
It's not a maybe.
I'm feeling good. I'm gonna keep on going. So that's why I keep, and I'm not saying that I'm sorry,
He,
Layla. What
he
did you say?
said maybe so. He said maybe so. No, you're citing exactly what was reported, what's in videos, what's evidenced, what can be proven with documentation. This is the issue with the cult mentality. They only believe what the cult leader says. They don't even try to watch other credible sources or get information because they're trained to think to they're
Not
trained
to think.
to take in, not to think,
To
to take in
outsource.
information exactly only from the cult leader. The cult leader goes, only trust what I say, only do what I tell you to do. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Candace has said this. Anyone tries to say it, it's a lie. She said that. She speaks like a cult leader. I've been calling Candace a cult leader for 4 months. Candace knows she's a cult leader.
Yeah,
And that's
I
what
agree.
cult leaders do. They go out and the whole mantra is just believe the cult leader. It doesn't matter what her principles are behind it, what the principles of the cult is, just believe the cult leader. And that the leader says, this is what I'm calling a fact. This is what I'm calling evidence. This is what I'm calling the truth. They're going to copy and paste that. Bottom line. It's
Great
so
points.
clear right here.
Yeah. And anyway, everybody, thank y'all, everybody who's jumped in. If you just hopped in and you're not aware, I was on a podcast. I was on a podcast Thursday, another podcast, and this gentleman that we were watching jumped into the comment section. He was being very disrespectful to the hostess of the podcast. And I just told him, I said, hey, how about you just email me and we can iron out the problems that you're having? Because she's new at YouTube, and she really wasn't able to handle the back and forth without it getting a little bit derailed, because we weren't even talking about that. He was talking about we're all Zionists and blah, 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 blah. The usual ignorant Cantifa speaking points. So I invited him to come over, shoot me an email, dearwokesy@gmail.com, and we can line this up. So he shot me an email, big mistake. We lined it up, bigger mistake. He got on the camera, extra big, with a side of crazy mistake, because as you see right here, I'm eating them up for lunch. So that's, somebody asked, what was the genesis of this conversation? And no, he was not on there with Gary and I. Oh my gosh, no. Gary would have had him for Gary would turn him into sushi.
Oh man, a demolish.
So let's finish this up though. Let's finish this up. But okay, let's go. And I've said this ad nauseum. I don't think TPUSA is some great unassailable entity. They're not. They're a political organization at best.
Yeah, they're the worst.
At best. So I don't expect them to be perfect by any means or measures.
Sure.
However, I don't believe that they deleted their own cash cow, that they deleted the golden goose. You're not going to convince me you're not going to convince me of those things with the mamsy-pamsy weak evidence that Candace has been displaying.
Even though they made money since it's been gone.
Can you show me where are you getting $250 million?
It's public fact somewhere. We can
pull it up and show me.
All right, I'll have to find it. But
now, the reason I'm saying that is because you're right. And so I want people to know, like, if you don't know, remember what I told you in the beginning. If you don't know the answer, ask the questions. Ask them to show you this. Like, no, and don't let them get away. Now, I'm going to let him off the hook, but it is well after I let him flounder for a while. And you can say, like, no, find that information. We'll just stop right now.
That's right. That's right.
And don't go anywhere. We're not going anywhere until you figure.
Okay.
I'll wait till you give me that information.
Yep.
And so anyway, just know that you're able to do that.
Not disputed knowledge. I don't know if I know how to like research and find these things, like people on the podcast do, but try.
That's fine. So again, and maybe this might be homework. I would just maybe say it might be good to look into that. That too, as if they brought in. So
I'm assuming it's correct.
You assume it's correct. Say again.
TPS USA hasn't disputed they made $250 million in 6 months. So
you know what they also haven't disputed? Anything else?
Oh, they disputed.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to sit and go back and forth with you. You do realize TPUSA hasn't said a whole lot of stuff. When people say TPUSA said or TPUSA did, they don't actually have anybody that's doing that or saying that.
I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure it's like coming from them. They've made a ton of money.
So, where are you getting it from?
Where
are
you getting it from?
I don't think like that.
I got you. And the reason I bring that up, Peter, is I'm catching an idea that you're sharing ideas that come from Candace. Because if you think about it, man, just think about the words that you said. $250 million in 4 months. That's insane.
Okay,
Now,
maybe we
I'll
gotta
tell
get
you,
that.
I'll tell you what what is more akin to
Sure.
is over the life of their business.
So
It's over the life of their TPUSA's existence. Go ahead.
I think that's probably a short-sighted thing to do.
So, so I think it's fair to say that we've caught her in yet another lie.
No, I don't think so.
Well, okay, you don't think so. I do think so. I guess we call the whole thing off.
Get out of
I don't
here.
know what the exact amount was.
Dude.
If I'm wrong on an amount,
So
the point
You are
stands
wrong.
that they've made more money since he died than before.
do you think that money would be sustainable? Do you think that money that they made, when you say they made more money
I think
through donations, because it's not like they made more money through donations after Charlie Kirk died. Do you think that maybe the goodwill and all the emotion toward Charlie Kirk's deletion might have been why they brought that money in?
I'm just saying right now, it's not like they lost money. You kind of made it sound like
Why would they lose money? What would be the But you were saying that they were going to lose donors and stuff.
they were going to lose donors when Charlie.
So they lost donors and stuff, but they clearly don't care about the donors anymore.
Oh, they do. I'm quite sure they do, man. Dude, they're such a corrupt organization owned by these.
Now it's a corrupt organization is crazy word.
He just
This is a
rambling.
crazy word.
Oh, the way
But
he
wait.
rambles, it gets underneath my skin to hear him just ramble from one point to another and just have a complete disregard while over talking you at the same time. Just a complete
And-
disregard for anything you're saying. It's like let me be condescending without being condescending. It's so
Yeah.
disgusting to me. I'm sorry.
But watch this though. Listen to this part. There's such a
Let's
corrupt
have it.
organization's last words. Watch this.
Billionaires, and it's like anytime you have people like that owning your organization, you know they're up to no good, man. I mean, like you should know that. Like,
So wait.
that much
Who are the
money-
billionaires that are running TPUSA? We got to talk about this one now. Come on.
Well, I mean, I know the one donor that texted Charlie the very weird, aggressive text message. Lori.
Okay.
something. He said they lost $2 million, and one donor was going to pull $2 million because he wasn't supporting Israel enough. There's just
Gotcha.
But he made
That's a couple
25
of them.
million.
So people that
Yeah.
have a lot of money
Mhm.
having influence in TPUSA is a bad thing, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So what about people having a lot of money having influence on the Candace Owens podcast?
I don't think that's actually making money. It's more of a grassroots thing. It's the fact that everyone's watching.
But Candace Owens' husband has a net worth probably more than everybody in this live chat. She brings in more money every week than most of us bring in a month.
Wait,
So explain. And is that not bad?
is her husband having money? But
You
Yes,
just said you
he's
just said people having money,
244
having influence in something is bad.
God,
just
he's a
said Bill-
clown. How did you do this?
The logic arguments are just staggering.
Oh, dear Lord. It's like listening to someone scratch a chalkboard with fingernails and that screeching. It just makes my skin crawl. This
Like,
makes
what are you
my
talking
skin
about, my
crawl.
guy?
What are you talking about? He's worth $244 million. Peter, I hope you're listening because I'm telling you right now, I'm not as nice as my brother here is. I'm not.
Hey,
Yeah,
this
I
is
am so much more mean than this. But let me
It's just
explain
crazy
something
work.
to you. If you couldn't just Google right quick, the fact that George Farmer is valued at $244 million, simple things you could have looked up. You failed to do it. You failed on an epic level of epic proportions. It is not even funny how cringy this is with you
Yeah.
sitting and saying, oh, he's worth money. You don't know
But-
your cult leader married a rich elite. Are
right.
you serious?
I bet you. I'm willing to go on a limb.
Something.
I'm willing to go on a limb and say I bet you he would say that Candace is just like the hoi polloi. She's just doing this literally out of her, out of the side office off her kitchen. She's just like
Ugh.
everybody else. I bet you he would probably say that because again, he's
Yeah.
totally obtuse to who it is that he's following and who it is that he's listening to. But let's get done.
I don't think they're pressuring Candace to say certain things on her podcast. Those things are.
But her husband is her producer. He's very involved in the podcast.
You really think it's the same as someone donating money directly to TPUSA?
He has a vested interest in her talking trash.
Where does her husband make his money from? Is it from
I
donating?
have no idea, but he's worth more to me and you.
And he's not owned by these people like TPUSA.
But
Who's in?
what
Who's
people
in
is he
earned
owned
by?
by? I mean,
He
you said
worked for
rich people
TPUSA. He
involved in
was
podcasting was
chairman
bad.
at TPUK.
George Farmer is rich. George Farmer is. Say
Oh
again,
my
friend.
God! He didn't know that George Farmer was once upon a time chairman of TPUK.
Or
So
Parler.
Peter,
He didn't know any of that. No.
Parler Inc. He's still the owner of Parler Inc. He tried to get Kanye West to buy it. So Peter knows nothing. And he failed to do his homework, and he still can't define simple terms. Are you serious? Peter, do not get your behind up on a platform and debate again unless you are prepared to be utterly obliterated. It's not even difficult to obliterate you at this point. This is laughable.
Yeah,
Is he
he just
serious?
served him up. He just served him up. Rich,
Somebody.
he's got influence over Candace's podcast. Please tell me and agree with me that it's bad. Do the little down thing like that so you get the little emoji. Go ahead.
But I can't do it. I want to emoji.
Oh,
What if I
Okay,
do?
but then do that and see what happens. But guess what? It's still gonna be true.
I don't see it as the same thing. I don't think.
Why does it? What's different?
I think if someone's giving you money expressly for the intent of conveying a certain message, they feel like they have like a, they have a say in what you say, and then you're no longer conveying an honest message.
So nobody is conveying. Nobody is influencing
Oh my
funds
God.
into Candace Owens.
I think a lot of smaller people are, yeah, and which is
And so those smaller people all have like really good motives. They're not involved in anything else, right?
Grassroots. I trust that politician way more than someone that gets money from 10 super rich people. You know what I mean? That's all I'm
Okay.
saying.
And we're talking
We're
about
not
politicians. We're talking about
politicians.
podcasts. I don't remember which one we're talking about now. Which one we're talking about?
Podcast is now.
Say
We're talking
again.
about podcasters. We're not talking about politicians.
I
He's
have no
just
idea how we got to
deflecting and
politicians.
dodging. It's
He
so
is.
obvious that he's deflecting. He's so he's like, let me deflect. Oh, let me dodge from this. Let me dip and duck and dodge and duck and dip. It's like the dodgeball movie coming into real life, except it's less funny. You can't make this up. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, we're done.
Podcast
Todd-
is now.
That's fine. Okay. So why is Candace okay? She's involved with super rich people, John Mappin, of course, her own husband. She's not. Her friends are not broke
Sure,
by
but
any means of measure. So why are they okay, but Charlie Kirk isn't? I'm with.
her friends having money doesn't mean they're giving her podcast money. I mean,
Do we not know that? How do we know that they're not?
We don't have any proof of it. We do have.
Do we? Well, I can look at her super chats and I can say that every one of those super chats comes from a rich friend that's funneling money to her to talk trash.
We can compare the amount of individual sums.
So how much money does it take in order to say that it's bad? Because we can get some people to do. I live in Atlanta. We can get some people to do something real strange for $5.
Yeah, sure, but not obviously.
So, but how much does it take in order to say, "Oh, that's weird"? Go ahead, I'll listen.
It take to influence someone's message? Probably depends on how rich that person is, but it's got to be in the hundreds or millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands.
You sure? Okay.
You said
And
that.
if we looked at Candace and said, "Wow,
Oh my God.
this year, it's crazy word. Last year,
Where did
she
you
made
get that from?
$300,000 on YouTube and super chats."
Thousands of views, man. These are all from common people. It's completely
But-
different. Rich people
Oh.
pressuring you to say a certain thing and hold to a specific message that they were bullying Charlie not to say. I mean, I just see that as very different.
Okay. And so, all I'm saying is, I think it's equally just the same about Candace.
I don't know how you can think that, but all right, man.
I don't know how you can think that.
Well, look, we've gone for an hour.
With
bud,
no
and,
evidence.
my bedtime's coming up here, but this was a lot of fun. I do appreciate it.
It's
For sure, man.
bedtime.
Thanks so much, man. I mean, Peter, appreciate you,
My
man.
middle name's Eric, so it's all good.
I apologize about that, Peter.
Okay,
Thanks so
good.
much, friend.
Yeah.
Sure enough. All right.
Peter, oh, you're a headache.
Oh. There you go.
No.
There you go.
Woo-child, that ending, he could not. All he did was deflect. He couldn't come up with a straight answer to save his life. First of all, Candace does get donors from rich people. Her donors, because she has Candace Owens LLC, Georgetown Inc. These are companies that she runs. These are 501. One of them is a 501c3. She also has paid 501c3s that are registered as LLCs as a part of her organization she had with Blexit. She gave that one company $553,000 in 1 year. And they were nothing more than a social media fundraising website. That's based on tax documents, Peter. Reading is fundamental. You might want to learn how to do that. This is, I hope his parents don't see this. This is embarrassing for him.
Well, let me go. Let's go ahead. You know what? I'm gonna read through these super chats because that reading is fundamental. I want to thank you to the very
y'all
kind
so much.
supers. Shout out to Laura. She's been a member of your channel, friend,
Yes,
for 9
Laura,
months. She
that's one of
said,
my
"Shout out to the
fantastic
dynamic
minds.
duo." I
Thank
appreciate
you,
you,
Laura.
friend. Thank you so much. Shannon came through right here with the $20 super. Thank you so much. She says, "Hey, Jay, I saw you on Gary's podcast. Rock on, brother." Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you following on through. Gary is a great content creator. And I'll probably be over there. I think we're supposed to be doing something this week. I got to check my calendar.
Okay, cool.
But I will
All
keep
right.
you posted. What's going on, Lady Williams? She's been a member over there. She's been over there for 9 months as well. Can you please do a
Absolutely.
live together, breaking and reacting to the live Jay Witt did with the homegirl the
Homegirl.
other day too? Oh my gosh.
Oh, the lady. Y'all,
I might
Jay
have to
went
chop
off
that up.
on
That was that was such a
he went
long
off on
conversation.
her. Oh, it was so good though.
That was such a long conversation. I don't know if I got
Enjoyed every
anything.
minute of that one. We got to do it. Oh man, it would be absolutely hilarious.
I gotta pray. I gotta pray. Let me see what Debbie got to say. Let's see what Deb got to say with the $5 super. She says, Jennifer, hey guys, I invited a new friend of mine, Jen, and I just wanted to introduce her to the chat. Shout out to Jen. Y'all go ahead and put
Shout out
Jen
to you.
8123 in the chat. Say what's up to her. What's going on? Well, thank you for welcoming somebody over, inviting somebody over to the family. All right. Shout out to the brand new members. I dropped 10 memberships. Lady, there we go. Lady Luck Club. She did 10 as well. Shout
Yes,
out to
I
those
did.
brand new members. Patricia Rich came through and she dropped 5 memberships. We just extending the gang
out
left
to
and
you.
right. Shout out to her. Thank you so very much for that. And then Dom coming up in here, blessing 10 other people with memberships. Shout out to y'all. Welcome to the
Awesome.
family. All of y'all, make sure you check out your members only content at the top of your. I know it's on my community page. I think you have it on the community as well. Lady
Yeah, I
Luck.
think
Okay.
so. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I haven't
All
looked
right.
at it.
Well,
I'm gonna
there
look
you
at
go.
it. There you go.
All right. All right. Give me the summation. Lady
Well,
Luck, as we round these bases.
in all that getting is some understanding. It's imperative to understand the fundamentals and to read information. At the end of the day, this comes down to the loss of someone's life who was a husband, a father, a CEO. And what we do not do is dictate how someone grieves or mourns or feels or think, even because this is what happens when we cross the line and think that, being able to control someone else's emotions or
It's
they're
crazy
not
work.
behaving the way that we think, they should
Right.
be behaving. It's not a standard for all human beings. Candace Owens is just being entirely narcissistic, entirely emotionless, soulless, and heartless.
Mhm.
Bottom line. And I think her jab she's taking it at Erica Kirk now is something, and I've even said this, in other live streams. Candace has been wanting to go after Erica Kirk for a long time.
Since
And
day
for a
one.
while, yeah, Erica Kirk was ignoring her. She wouldn't even say her name. They didn't respond. And I constantly said, if Erica Kirk responds, she needs to do it through an attorney. I was saying that for months. I was the one posting up X.com tweets saying, please do not respond to her unless you're doing it through an attorney. Because that's what Candace wants. She thinks that having this PR debate back and forth in the court of public opinion, that's her angle. She doesn't want to go
Mhm.
to the court of law where she could produce evidence and get discovery and all of that. No, she doesn't want to do that. She wants everything to be played out on social media because this is for her. This is her entertainment. It's her how she's
Yeah.
getting money. It's how she's getting views. So she wants this to keep going. And at some point, she's going to run out of content. She's going to run out of steam when it comes to Charlie Kirk. And her being hit with these cease and desist letters, they should have went straight for a lawsuit, to be honest with you. Because this has been months in the making. Months in the making. But her
I can
targeting
dig
Erica
it.
Kirk has to be the zenith of the just the soulless, heartless, cruel nature that is this cult leader, Candace Owens. People want to follow her. I'm not here to change your mind. We don't owe you evidence. We don't have to prove anything to you at all because we know Candace is not going to prove anything to anyone else.
Mm-mm.
But just know it's not going to stop us from having our opinion and taking the stance that we're taking. We're going to continue to call her out when she's wrong. We're going to continue to call her a liar when she lies. We're going to continue to call her soulless when she's being soulless. Bottom line, Erica Kirk does not deserve this. This girl would rather have her husband come home every day. She would rather not have to explain to her daughter why her dad is not coming home anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But what she has now is a whole company that's being thrust on her. And she's having to run that company and still be a mother to these 2 kids and still mourn and grieve the loss of her husband. Candace Owens does not set the tone or pace for that. That is not her place. And when it comes down to it, if Erica Kirk and TPUSA decides to sue Candace Owens, they will win. I don't care if I have to go there and testify on whatever. They will win because
I think
Candace
so.
Owens does not care. She doesn't care. She doesn't care about evidence that they could be gathering against her. She doesn't care about any of that. So, Candace, if you don't care, don't whine and complain about it when they do hit you with a lawsuit. Take it like a champion and keep living.
Mhm.
That's my summer.
No, I appreciate it. And I just want to remind people that I think we do need to engage Cantifa more and allow them to talk themselves into the trick bag and put themselves in these bad positions. So, and ask them questions. Just say, okay, like explain to me what that means. Like, as you heard me ask Peter, or where does this go from here? Or like I ask you, who do you say actually did the deletion of Charlie Kirk? Ask them and out front and let them just answer that question. The only one question. We're not going to talk about FBI. We're not going to talk about spy planes. We're not talking about red cranes. I just want to know who killed Charlie Kirk. Who in your estimation did it? Then,
Always
and say, well, I believe Tyler Robinson. And they're going to say, well, you believe the Fed slop narrative. Well, the Feds aren't running point on this. So that's kind of a dumb statement. But let me ask you again, who do you think actually did it? So you don't have to have all these things answered, and you can still have questions. I think there are still very valid questions that don't necessarily make a lot of sense right now.
Right.
And I think as the case goes on, I believe we'll know a whole lot more, and maybe some of those questions will get answered that you have. Some of those questions will make sense then. Like, okay, yeah, that makes sense now. At the current moment, they don't make sense. But that's the one thing. Be ready to engage with them and ask some questions. But then also keep in mind that you don't have to have every last one of these I's dotted and T's crossed in order to engage with them. And I just wanted people to see that and hear that as watching Peter kind of do what he was doing and such of that nature. And, if you decide, if you're a Cantifa member and you're up here close to the front of the church and you want to ever, dearwokec@gmail.com, you're welcome to shoot me an email. And you already know what I'm going to do. You already know how I'm going to talk about this topic. So we can definitely talk about them. I'm not going to waste a lot of time talking about things that are not interesting to me. I'm not going to sit there and argue for 2 days about a sliver of land over in the Middle East. So don't even waste your time doing that. But I will talk about things that are right here and around my own doorstep that really do affect me and capture my attention. So I would like you to be able to discuss that. So if I find it, I'll drop it in the chat. Or the mods could drop the dearwokec@gmail.com. Here it is right there.
And I've asked the same question to Candace. Tell us who the shooter is. Tell us who pulled the trigger on the gun. Tell us who pulled the trigger on the gun. Till you do that, then you're not saying anything of value because, I think in the LLC, they know mostly I love reading the court documents. I've read the indictment on, live. I've gone over it, and other motions and pleadings filed in that case as well. Andrea Burkhart and you as well have a great, y'all do a great job of keeping up with all the court documents and everything. So I've gone over several of the motions of plea, even the one with the standing decorum order. I mean, I knew that the media press had violated it when they posted up a video of what looked like Tyler Robinson's feet in shackles. Like, who was in there recording when they shouldn't be? But, and then, of course, you had the court hearing on how they violated the standing court order. So I've gone into matters regarding the case because I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'd rather go on the facts and the evidence at hand. And what we have in writing is, a confession. We have video evidence, and we have a man that had a gun in his hand wrapped in a towel. I mean, bottom line, all the other evidence that is to be shown to the jury will be shown to the jury at that time. I don't want all the evidence. We have laws for that too. All the evidence we put out there and then it's biased and butchered. For what? Then you take the jury pool. And then what? A person gets off because now you have a hung jury and all over what? Because Candace Owens.
Right.
It won't be worth it when she can't tell us who pulled the trigger on the gun, Candace. You heifer. Tell us who pulled the trigger on the gun. Bottom line, when you
Can't do
cannot do that, then all this other flip nonsense, you starting this whole new storyline on Friday, girl. Who pulled the trigger on the gun? Okay, then irrelevant. And we're gonna keep. Me personally, I'm just laughing at her, but at this point, but when she is being completely cold and heartless and soulless, that's when I have to call that out because I'm a mother. And the last thing I would want is someone telling me how to grieve the loss of a spouse. Are you kidding me? Taboo.
Crazy work. Crazy work.
Yeah.
All right, good people. It's been a long night.
Yeah.
Man. It's been a
I
long night.
enjoyed this.
That's fun.
3 hours for me is like short time. That's like 30 minutes in my world.
Oh no, I agree. I agree, but
thank y'all so much.
no, it's been fun. Thank y'all so much, everybody, for hopping in. Please make sure if you're not already subscribed to the Lady Luck Club, go over there and check out what she's doing. Go ahead and give her a like. Let her know you appreciate her. Appreciate her following on through. Here, there's a couple people. Shout out Lady Williams. You've been a member over here for 7 months. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for your dedication and support. What does Blue Moon say here with the 5? I don't understand why being rich makes you evil. Many small donors are evil and want to have influence. Donors don't just give money. They have reasons.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't think he really. Say again.
It could be a motive. Well, I think what he's saying is it could be some motive, when they are donating and the idea that, if you are rich and wealthy, you're an evil person. Candace is rich and wealthy, people. Yeah. I don't know if you all knew that to the Candy Coat members. Candace Owens is rich and wealthy. She spends thousands of dollars on a shirt. You can't make this up. Right. It's not something that broke people or people living check to check are able to do. I cannot drop $1,500 on a shirt. That's my rent. But Candace can do that. She makes moves that is indicative of someone having a ton of money. And when you can look up and see what her and her husband are valued at, George, come out that closet. It's well over $200 million. That's not a broke person. She is a rich global elite. Her saying she's not means nothing. It's that simple.
No, I'm right there with you.
Oh man.
All right, thank you again, Blue Moon, with the $10. Hey. Candace has donors, her clicks and sponsors. Do you think she will have pro-Israel sponsors? Nope. I understand the TPUSA donors. Her behavior proves that they were right. Yeah, and I don't. Yeah. That's a great point. She would have pro-Israel donors on her channel. So same thing as, but I believe she knows that, but she knows that the outsourcing of critical thinking of her audience is not going to pick up on that. So she'll get away with it. That's what I think it is. But
yeah.
All right, y'all, make sure, mods, if you can make sure, please, we drop Lady Luck Club's link in the chat. Make sure that everybody knows how to get over there and see what she's doing.
Thank you.
I appreciate each and every one of y'all for hanging out with us tonight. And, hey, if you're a member of Can TV, you want to shoot me an email, go ahead and do it. And I think it'll be great conversation. I'm looking forward to having it with you. Or you can shoot Lady Luck Club an email.
Yeah, email, yes. Yes, come on. You can come for me on that. Listen,
she might enjoy it.
I would definitely enjoy it. I would. Come on. Deacon, you have to listen to this. It'll be funny.
I know it will be. All right, y'all. But everybody, thank you all, everybody. We appreciate all of y'all. Have a fantastic night. We'll see y'all real soon. Grace and peace.
Take care.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Witt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.